People just kept telling me to hydrate, but I needed to pee by the end of my stream because I was very hydrated.
It is spectacular. It's gorgeous.
It's quite boring.
Now look at fucking 3D and say, Stussy.
Cleverosaur says, I hope you all drown. What a way to get us started.
I just want you shitting yourself on a t-shirt.
Nope, that's a nice picture of
I
me.
don't know.
I mean, I did just bite the fuck out of them.
Pete, fucking move.
What's wrong?
Just need to hydrate. Sorry.
He's hydrating.
Hey,
Get
get it in.
in.
Get it in.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, no.
That wasn't even intentional.
It's Thursday, the 30th of September, and you're watching Backpacker coming at you live from the Loki Studios, starring Gus Ronald, Steph Bendixson, Peter Burns, guest starring Scotty.
Oh my god!
There was normally more time because Little Will isn't here tonight, but I'm your host, Nick Richardson, and welcome. Tonight on the show, we journey through a labyrinthine new world filled with infinite possibilities and sandstorms as we seek resurrection through inscription and the power of song. I am delighted to have all of you here. Gus seems to be sad about it.
No, the power of song. That was That was amen. That was my amening.
Lovely.
Good. Steph, she's a heavy dog.
Yeah, well, I was expecting there to be another person, so I thought I had more time. She's a heavy dog because in lockdown she has gotten a little bit fat. Definitely not our fault. Definitely not our fault at all.
No one's to judge during lockdown. Steph, what are you eating?
This is my new crack.
Oh, because
No,
I've got
these
new
are,
crack to discuss as well. Good.
So
These
do
are
I.
These are kombucha flavored lollies, and they're just like slightly less sweet. So
Wait, sorry. Are they kombucha flavored or they're kombucha lollies? Like, do
both.
they have? Okay,
they have,
right.
yeah, they have like prebiotics or whatever in them.
Yep.
But like whatever, they taste good.
Mine don't. So I had something, and then as the camera came onto me, I was like, I'm going to throw it in my mouth and try and catch it. And I
It was
didn't. And then
popcorn.
It was popcorn. Yeah. And then I put it in my mouth and ate the first one. And then for the rest of the intro, I tried to eat as much of it as I could because it's cookies and cream popcorn. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is starting a problem here. And I was just like, look at these. These are not healthy in the slightest.
That sounds good.
They are just
I
chocolate.
saw these in the supermarket last week. I think
let me
there's
do
a
it. Let me
Golden
do it.
Gay
This
Time one as well.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, it works. It's just chocolate
lovely.
and something drizzled over the top. On popcorn thing. So
Because there's Golden Gay Times one. Golden Gay Time.
there might have been. These,
I think there is. I've seen them scattered around the Woolworths.
They're those things that, would usually be in the confectionery aisle at like $12 a packet of nothing. But they're at the $3 at the front because they're like, no one's buying these. No one's buying these. So I'm buying gourmet treats at discount prices.
Oh, lovely.
That's a life hack for you. Peter, what are you snacking on anything delicious?
Yeah, so I've just got like what looks like a normal glass of red wine. This is a Shiraz.
But it's actually off Amazon. It's a digital glass of red wine. And
No,
there's
see
no
what
wine
I've done
in it.
is
It's just
see
a
what I've
handle.
done is I get the over-the-counter Codral with pseudoephedrine, crush that up, and then you just mix it nicely into your wine, and it's
That's good.
gives you a really good kick.
That's
Oh
good.
God.
Steph's like, this explains a
Don't
lot.
do that.
I have a
Don't
real
do
one. These are freeze-dried lime wedges or lime slices, and I got given a packet of them and had no idea what to do with them for like 2 months and didn't bother looking up what to do. And every time I went to my kitchen, I'm like, what do you use them for? And I didn't look it up. And then finally someone's like, you can put them in G&Ts. And I was like, yes. They're so potent.
That's
like,
so bougie. I love it.
they're like, you can cut a slice of lime or lemon and put it in a drink, and it'll have like, it'll flavor that drink.
You got to dehydrate that.
You dehydrate it. Holy crap! It is so. You open that packet, it is just citrus up the schnoz. You put that in your drink. Oh, I mean, you're already
Citrus up the schnoz. Amazing.
You're already cutting the lime for the gin and tonic. You're already squeezing lime in the G&T.
I've just realised this isn't tonic water either.
Was
This
he?
is soda. I've ruined this drink.
Oh God!
That's a G&S.
It's gin and
And a
gin and soda
candied
with,
lime.
with an old lime.
This is
with
not
a
a life hack.
fossilized lime.
That's good. They taste really good, and they do great.
Go back to your kids' popcorn.
Oh God!
It's such a strange combination, particularly because, like as Steph said, it's very bougie of you, and I wouldn't expect anything less to have that. But then you are eating the popcorn out of the bag, and it's very bright, sort of like cartoony kind of. Yeah, it's just
because it's for a child. Is that what you were saying? It's for a
This
child.
is not for a child.
It's not that it's for a child. It's just that
These aren't child prices. $12 a bag. Little Jimmy's not getting that.
True.
Little Jimmy.
Big thank you to, I see a hype train going. I saw Andrew 12 gifting subs. I saw Argonide gifting subs. I saw Ms. Honey gifting subs. I saw Lil Phoenix gifting subs. And then there's just a bunch of people screaming crack.
Resubbing. We got Slim 4477 resubscribe, Clever Sauce, Crusher
This is
Kids,
amazing. Hey,
Middle C.
I don't want to
Epic.
sound like a broken record here, but Nick, we just made a joke about these are not for children. And like as the end of the bit, I looked on the back of the packet as a joke to be like, where does it say not for children?
Ingredients.
Caution. Not for children, 0 to 3 years old.
Choking hazard.
This
Choking
is
hazard.
poison.
But also, that's
I know you can't
fucked
read
that
that
they
bit.
need to put that on a thing of going like, choking hazard, no child needs that amount of sugar pumped into their body. Anyway, look, I don't
It's because they could choke on it. But yeah, I can't believe there was a warning on the back of it saying do not give this to kids.
It's very funny. We are happy to be here tonight. It's another backfuck. My house is getting emptier by the day.
And without the
Yeah,
purple
nice.
and just the sad blue, it looks
And
like.
I'm taking all the furniture.
It's true. It's true. You're just filling it up.
It's the sad
Beck was
blue
in here
glow
today
of
and
a-
just started packing, and like I turned around after playing 4 hours of New World and just looked, and I was like, "There's nothing." So this is where I am for the next 4 weeks, surrounded by
The
boxes.
blue light kind
and-
of replicates the buzzing TV on the fuzz of the bachelor in the single apartment who's just sitting there at night watching like reruns of something in his empty house. So, which you are not, but it's giving the stage presence of that, which I
Yeah,
appreciate.
it's giving the vibe of that. Yeah, good.
That's some projecting going on there, Gussie.
Yeah.
There's no projector there.
But before we get into the show proper, like we said, Will's not here. Will has the night off because he didn't play any video games, and we don't need him on the 1s and 2s when we're doing the remote show. So it's like, why'd be here? Like he's probably, I assume he's watching, right? Like, because
There's no way he's watching.
He's so not watching.
There's no fucking way. He's watching What If again or something.
He's creating a fake poster for a Marvel movie that doesn't exist yet.
that's so true. But Will's parents are definitely watching. So hi, Will's parents, how you going?
It's like, this is what the 8th ring would look like. Is there a movie about 7 rings or some shit coming out?
Is there? I don't know. There were 7. Were there 7 Infinity Stones? No, there were 5 Infinity Stones because there was one.
Yeah,
for each
but
kingdom,
he'll do
right?
the what if poster that instead of clicking, Thanos did this.
Oh, there's 10 rings.
What happens then?
He did the
Seven-
it's
Thanos
Thanos-
went, I am inevitable.
And then he drew the Stussies S.
yeah.
7 Rings is a Ariana Grande song.
That's what I'm confusing it with.
That's,
And Will
yeah.
is definitely into that.
And Ariana Grande is what I order from
that one?
Starbucks, so I...
There we go. It's come full circle. But we are excited to jump into another show.
No, it's 10 rings.
It's 10
No,
rings.
it's
Chat
seven,
says there's
it's
10
seven,
rings.
it's seven,
No, there's 10.
it's
There's
seven.
10. There's totally 10. It's totally 10.
Wait, 10 rings with
Isn't it
Marvel or
a
10 rings
Shang-Chi
with
and the 10
Ariana?
rings or something?
Okay, right. So how many rings does Ariana Grande have?
Just the one.
It's 7. It's 7.
I thought she broke up with what's his face. Did she break up
Who?
with what's his face?
Tattoo SNL.
Yeah, Pete
Davidson.
Oh,
Pete
yeah.
Hines.
Davidson.
Long time ago.
Davidson.
But she's married to
mate.
someone else.
Old
She married
news.
someone else.
She's
She married someone else.
married to someone else? What the fuck is this? Married at first sight? Ariana
I
Grande?
know.
Oh my
People
God.
just rush into things when they're famous. I don't know why.
She's married to
8
Dalton
years
Gomez.
Peter and I were together. 8 years
It's true. It's true.
What?
before we got married.
Yeah, so
yeah,
what?
that's fine. Yeah, like
I didn't realize I liked you till like the end of the 7th year.
That's not true. You were obsessed from the start. From the start.
I think I've said this before, and I think it was on a post show. But I do. One of the most embarrassing things I've done in a workplace scenario was when the first week I was at Good Game, and someone said, I can't remember how it came up, but it was something about Pete and Steph came up in like the same sentence or something, and I said something, and John said, "Yeah, well, they live together," and I'm like, "Oh, right. I didn't realize they were roommates." And he just looked at me and he was like, "They're not roommates." And I was like, "Oh, right."
They're brother and sister.
Like, yeah, right. Brother and sister. And they're fucking.
Marf was onto it from
They
from
were
the get-go.
roommates.
I don't know what
Roommate.
he had some like secret sense about it. He was sus from the start. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, and he was like,
Yeah.
Like,
he would look between us and be like,
it's literally because I stopped playing Battlefield with him like 8 hours a night.
That's why. Thank you to Agent Triple B. I think the reason I assumed it was roommates is because you just don't assume that people in the workplace are going to break workplace law so flagrantly.
Tell that to the ABC.
there's no workplace law.
Oh, there was plenty of laws broken. Everyone just looked the other way. But that's fine. I'm speaking as someone who I'm in my relationship through the workplace as well. I'm no better. In fact, I'm
mean I could've
arguably
dated people at
worse
work?
because I was the boss. You could have, Gus.
I let Peter slip through my fingers.
Okay, should we get into the show? Because
I don't think so.
No? Okay, no, that's good. I'm drinking an organic wine, and the good thing about this is it has far less antihistamine, so I get much less sneezy if I haven't had wine in a couple of days. And then I have a bottle of this, and it's like, ooh, that's good. And then
I thought you took antihistamines to combat.
You're right. It has far less histamine.
Histamine.
I was thinking, well, it also has far less antihistamines because you're not anywhere near it crushing tablets.
Crushing my codrol across into it.
I
Yeah.
also like the idea that if it's full of them, you're like, oop, got a cold. Better go and crack open a bottle of Pinot Noir with these antihistamines to really help it go down. Red wine when you've got a cold or sneezy is terrible.
Histamines are one of those things that I've never thought of separate to the
Antihistamine.
prefix anti. It's like the idea of being
Does it
whelmed.
exist? What is
Nearly overwhelmed or underwhelmed.
histamine?
Histamine is a chemical created in the body that is released by white blood cells into the bloodstream when the immune system is defending against a potential allergen. This release can result in an allergic reaction from allergy triggers such as pollen, mold, and certain foods. I wonder why my body thinks it's being attacked by a sort of fruity Shiraz.
Well, because it's like it's aged. It's like to make
old
Well,
grape.
because
the alcohol process is like.
Yeah, but if it's organic wine that is not causing that problem, then it stands to reason that it's whatever artificial preservative stuff that they put in there, or
That's
the
true.
pesticides that they use in the
Good point.
grapes, or I don't know.
True.
That's what's causing the allergy, not the grape or the wine itself.
I thought people
Goddamn
saying that
stuff.
organic wine not giving them a hangover was just something that people said. And it's like, oh no, it definitely does actually work that way. Like I've had a lot of organic wine at once and I had less of a hangover the next day.
I drink so much wine in Italy and I never got hungover. And I think maybe it
That's
was because I
Italy,
had
though.
so much pasta first.
No, but also
and you slept
because
for a full day afterwards. And
Yeah.
didn't realize
it's
you
the
missed
wine
a day.
never even makes it into a bottle. It just goes like they dip a carafe into the vat that they just finished making it in, and it lands on the table. Again, there's no preservatives in it, so it's like
Also, I think because it's like probably better wine, but also when I was in Italy, I swear to God, because like wine comes before you even order. Like it just appears on the table and they just give you a glass. At least it did when I was in Italy going everywhere. But I swear they were watering down the wine because they're just giving out free glasses of wine to everyone who
That's
sits
a
down.
good point.
And
It
it's
does
like-
turn up on the
like
table first and you're like, we didn't order any and it's just there.
But they're like, no, of course it's here. You're in Italy. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But this is probably one quart wine, 4 quarts, whatever the fuck Gus put in his gin and whatever it was supposed to be.
It turned out it was tonic. It's just that I make my own tonic now and it wasn't working. Like, that's another tip. Make your own tonic.
Mr. ADCV asks, did you see
Fruitcake.
Ezio? And yes, we went to Montegioni, the city in Assassin's Creed 2, the little walled town that you like build up as his like home base. Was it Assassin's Creed 2?
but he wasn't there.
It was Revelations. What?
He wasn't there.
You were like
Ezio.
400 years too late.
No, but I'm saying we went to the place where they bought all the game on, and we went to the big thing in Florence that you climb in the game and all that kind of stuff. It was great. And I took a side by side when we went to Paris. I took a side by side photo of me and I've forgotten the main guy from Assassin's Creed Paris, and I went to that beautiful cathedral that you go into, and I took a side-by-side photo of it.
You talking about the Notre Dame?
No.
Oh, right. Because don't you go into that one and they had to use it to rebuild it? Or they're using it to rebuild it? Yes.
But they also, there's this other really beautiful cathedral that's smaller.
Can we start the show?
Okay.
I'm
talking about video games.
There's one thing we can't go past. Gus, you make your own tonic water?
It sounded more fancy than it is. You just buy the cordial and you put it in the soda stream. What have you been playing this week?
All right, cool, good.
Tonic cordial.
Don't ask a follow-up, Pete. Don't ask a follow-up.
Let's leave it with tonic cordial, which is a lovely lead-in to the part of the reason that we're here tonight is because of the power of PlayStation Plus. We're very happy to be sponsored by PlayStation Plus this week, and while it's nearly the end of September, there's still time to pick up these 3 games included in your PS Plus membership. Hi, I'm Nick, and while everyone knows the phrase, if it bleeds, we can kill it, a little less known Predator catchphrase is, if it's on PS Plus, you can play it. So here are 3 reasons to check out September's PlayStation Plus games. Predator Hunting Grounds lets you hunt the most dangerous game, man. But it actually turns out the most dangerous game was Predator, because Predator absolutely f***ed these guys up with a shoulder-mounted plasma caster. If you're looking to have some co-op cooking fun with friends and family, pick up Overcooked All You Can Eat for the PS5. Great teamwork, Pete! Or if you're looking to lose some friends and family, pick up Overcooked All You Can Eat for the PS5. Oh, ever heard of teamwork, Pete? And if you've always wanted to assassinate someone while dressed as a crimson wading bird, but have been scared of the prison time that comes with it, then Hitman 2 will let you live out those dreams to your bald, bar-coded heart's content. Now you know what you can play this month. It's time for me to get to the chopper! That's right, all those games available for you right now. And someone beat me to it. It was Dongalev, great name, who said, also there's a free multiplayer this weekend. That's right, Dongalev. There is a free multiplayer weekend, thanks to PlayStation Plus Australia, happening this weekend. So all weekend, you can log into your favorite PlayStation multiplayer game, and you don't even need to pay for PlayStation Plus to be able to play against all your friends for free in any multi-game of your choosing. Any multiplayer game you're choosing.
I love that these peas break you, and as they should. Playing PlayStation Plus for free with your pals is just not fun for anyone who doesn't love alliteration like me.
Bajo and I are streaming this weekend for PlayStation Plus. We're going to play Ghost of Tsushima. Lots of shenanigans. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Are you doing good? The Legends thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. You're going to grapple everywhere? You're going to grapple everywhere, Steph? You should grapple everywhere. It's great fun. It's great. Grapple a foe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to try to play the game, but I'm playing with Bajo, so who knows what's going to happen.
Everyone's faces just dropped and yep, good luck with that.
Plus, every time I stream with him, I'll be mid-conversation and then I just hear silence and I'm like, hello? And he's like, sorry, Steph, I'm just talking about chat. And then I go over to his stream and people are dropping vats of poop on him and stuff. It's just
Oh, I love that everyone can do a good Bajo.
It's a whole thing.
These days. It's become it's become the Christopher Walken impersonation everyone loves doing and having their own spin on it.
Very true.
Just a little impression. Just a little funny impression.
Just a little impression.
So that's very true. And also PlayStation Plus bringing people together. Even though he lives in Adelaide, we can still play games with him. So thank you very much, PlayStation, for that. I'm going to be spending a lot of my weekend playing FIFA 2022. I've had it for a while, and I have not got around to playing it, but I'm very excited to check it out this weekend. And I'm going to go online. I'm going to get absolutely smashed. I'm going to get ruined by people, destroyed. But the connection as I do it is going to be rock solid. So that's.
I snuck in and got the Predator Hunting Grounds while it was on there because I'm like, that's a game I'm going to want to. After Pete played Aliens the other week, I was like, oh, that game was sitting in my I should get around to playing that. So I've actually downloaded that one, and I assume there'll be more people playing it this weekend than others because it's what's it called? The not even multiplayer. Oh my god.
Asymmetrical.
Thank you. Asymmetrical. That's the one I'll be playing this weekend because that looks.
So there's a PS Plus free weekend kicking off this long weekend, October 2nd to 4th. You don't even need to go to work on Monday, so you should definitely spend your weekend playing games on PlayStation.
Good point.
Yeah.
Did you say or? Was there an or there? Like an alternative? I thought from you. I thought it was like
No.
playing games on PlayStation, and then you had something witty.
It's
Make
Jeff.
your own
Is there a
tonic.
wave mode in Predator? Is there a wave mode? No.
Is there?
Oh my
There can't be a wave
goodness.
mode.
Hey, Gus, have you seen the movie Predator? Have you seen it?
Yes, Steph.
There's it.
Nick, have you seen the movie Predator? The classic action film Predator?
Once, yeah.
Yeah. Nick, Peter, have you seen the film Predator?
Let me answer your question with a question. What's the matter? CIA got you pushing too many pencils?
Avexia, have you seen Predator? Have you seen
Don't
it?
shame
Yeah,
our
he hasn't seen
viewers. Don't shame
Wow.
the
Is it-
audience, Steph.
So have you
Shame.
seen classic
That was
action
brutal.
film
Shame.
Predator? Have you seen it?
Shame.
That was a 3-tiered setup to knock him down,
Yeah.
Steph. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I didn't know who
You
was
should
gonna
hear
get
how he
caught in
talks
that
to me
answer.
when we play Destiny. He's got it
okay.
coming. He's got
Fair
covered.
enough.
Not good. That was great because it was like someone's gonna be hurt by this, and
Yeah,
I don't know
it
who
wasn't
it
us.
is yet. Yeah, and it was very nice.
Oh,
that it
thank
wasn't us. All right, let's move on with some video game talk because there's a ton of video games that we want to talk about, and the segment we do that
Avexia. Sorry.
in is this one.
Oh my god.
Just saying what y'all been playing. What's your Brent Jones, aka LokiCat. LokiCat, what have you been playing this week? We never asked LokiCat what he's playing this week. I think this
New World,
entire
I
time,
think.
I think it is New World if my Steam is any indication. I can tell you right now. He could be in New World. No, he's not in New World right now. I thought he was. That
He's
was-
watching the
He's
show.
in the chat. He's watching the
Good
show.
point.
Well, Sith Cat. Oh no, look,
He's in the queue.
New World.
But
No,
just
he's in the
the
queue.
queue, he's like-
Anyone else
Right.
that Nick is Steam friends with, he's going to catch you out right now.
I was going to say, this is a new
Sith
segment where you Steam
Cat,
friend
LokiCat.
you Steam friend everyone, and then we just say what they're playing. That's the new segment.
Yeah.
We just go through
Yeah.
Steam and see what they're playing.
Well, I can tell you, over the last 2 weeks, LokiCat
Mm-hmm.
has enjoyed 28 hours of New World.
That's a
He's
lot. That's a lot of hours. Is that, how much of that is Q, though?
Yeah, all of it.
Oh my god!
This is, I'm
How
just
does
saying,
this
what's
maths even
Loki Cat been
work?
playing?
Hang on a second.
I love this.
So, oh my god! Okay, so over the last 2 weeks,
This better be good.
he's played 28 hours of New World,
Mhm.
and he's played 115 hours
Mhm.
of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
That's a long time to leave it on the pause menu.
Whoa. I was about to say, there were times when I was like, wow, that playthrough took me for a long time.
Like
And,
Cat said, yeah, incoming Metal Gear Solid 5 idling. So
Yeah,
idling.
right.
But he's got 274 hours on record in Metal Gear Solid 5. So wow, that's a lot. That's days and days of idling. You can't. That's too much idling time. That's something sus here. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it by next week, LokiCat. you can bet on that. Steph, talking about sitting at a computer playing a game but not being able to play it. Tell me about the New World. New World. New World.
Yes.
New World?
Okay.
New World.
So there were numerous betas for New World, and I kind of thought that meant that the launch would be smooth. I wouldn't say it was. I think everyone kind of piled onto the two most popular servers and just hung out in queues for many, many hours. I don't know what number you got in, Nick, but I got in at 12,000.
I got in
And
at
then-
9,000.
Yeah, and then I bailed to play
People in
Destiny.
front of you in the queue.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
To get into the server that we chose. And we picked a server at random pretty much. Like we figured out that Utopia would be popular because it's a recognizable word. So we picked Yama, which was one of the many others that you could choose from, and we campaigned hard for everyone to come join us on that server. But that wouldn't
too
be like
hard, it seems.
yeah, but that's not like 13,000 people or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was full on. So I kind of gave up on that. I was kind of bummed because I was just like, it's not long. It's not often that you have a game like this. It is a big shared world game that so many people are playing, and we can all collectively like start it together. So I was really looking forward to that experience, and I felt a bit deflated when I couldn't have it. So
Before we get to the game part with that, because I've been a part of a lot of MMO launches and they're all shit. It never goes well. Like it just never goes well. This one was relatively smooth in terms of like they put a bunch of new servers online pretty fast.
Yeah.
But I did do some digging around today, and I believe the reason that we got so hammered, because you said that our server had the longest queue time globally, right?
No, Utopia had the second longest queue time globally, but we were, I think, number 6.
Right, okay.
Globally, yeah.
But Australian servers had some of the longest, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason is there's no SEA, China, or Korean servers. Literally half the planet is trying to connect to Australian servers.
It's all Asia Pacific,
which was part of the reason that they just got absolutely destroyed.
Interesting. Well, I think I saw what the Shark shared some info on a Discord earlier today that I think there's 21. There's 11 or 21 new servers they opened up in the region.
It was 21. It was in the 20s that they opened up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, they went hard.
Yeah, that's
Thankfully,
wild.
Amazon have all that server space.
Well, totally.
We have since moved to Eridu. That's our new server. We're starting a company. It's going to be really fun. I still haven't had time to play heaps of it yet. And when I streamed with Barjo the other night, I just got very distracted because we were just chatting the whole time. So progress has been slow, but I am really enjoying it. I think I just forgot how beautiful it was. The landscape, the foliage, the moss, the sunsets, the lighting. It's just like, it's all beautiful. I think the faction thing is still really interesting, and I'm excited to this time participate in some of the like PvP quests and stuff because I see those fights going down. It's really exciting. But yeah, it's just the questing that is what lets this game down. It's so, Barjo mentioned that because they had a PvP focus initially and then kind of like pivoted from that, the quests that you do in the game feel very dull 101 MMO basic quests where you go and catch 5 of these things, or you search through so many crates. Go to this village and search through 10 crates. Go to that village, search through some crates.
Which I imagine is a familiar feeling for MMO players in like the smallest amount, and then it's like, we are done with this. Like it shouldn't be still the standard game like questing for MMOs,
and everything else feels so much more elevated. Like it looks so beautiful. Like it's just a stunning looking game, and the combat is more sort of third person action combat, and all the weapons play really differently. You're not locked into any class system. It's just you're building your character's abilities based on the weapons that you choose to mainline. And I love that freedom, and I love the combat. Like it's genuinely really fun and impressive to look at and feels good to do. So it sucks that like the kind of bulk of what you'll be doing in the game is the questing stuff, and that's really average. So I'm bummed about that, but maybe they have a chance to kind of think of some more innovative stuff in future content drops. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty boring, but I say this thinking that there's a lot of foundation here that in 2 years' time it could be really good, and I think that that's often the case with MMOs. Oftentimes MMOs don't really, well, half the time MMOs don't really launch amazingly and with great content because they kind of like find their feet and then figure out what they want to do. I think that there's a couple of big problems. The biggest one, I think, is the quest design, and you can totally feel that shift from like it was a PvP game and now it's a PvE game with some PvP built into it, because it's so basic. The questing is so there is no like, particularly because it's this interesting setup that your ship crash lands in this thing and there's all these other shipwrecked ships there and you're on this island where no one can really die, and so there's this interesting story set up at the beginning, and I'm level 15 at the moment, so I'm still early, like its level cap is 60, but at the moment the through line, like the main quest dragging me through, is basically like go to these different inns around the world and like tell them that the innkeeper from the other place and that innkeeper owes you money. And it's like, that's the main quest line driving you through.
You're shaking down taverns.
Totally. The thing of like opening chests and collecting 10 boar meat and crafting this thing, all of that is in all MMOs, but it's generally the side content, whereas it feels like the primary driving content. So that is really frustrating.
So if they pared back that big coloured PvP faction stuff, or is
that's still
okay, right?
Yeah.
But that stuff is what's interesting. It's exciting to think that because you really feel it when you're in the towns that are owned by another faction. Like, you've got to pay like epic taxes. You can't use any of the like facilities that give you extra stuff. It costs you more to craft stuff there. Like, it really becomes a frustrating place to have as your base, and you do have to have certain cities as your base just from where you're, you know, moving through the quest line. So when you see that your faction is like contesting the you know, ownership of that territory, it's really exciting. And then you log back on and suddenly all the colors have moved, and you can tell there's been some hectic battles that have taken place in that kind of shift of power. And I was worried that it would be really unbalanced, like there'd be one, like, you know, OP faction that everyone would join and they would just kind of take over. But in the beta, it was really balanced. And from what I've seen so far, it's been really balanced in the launch as well. Yeah, I'm excited to see those like fort battles, and I'm excited to do the PvP quests, and that stuff at least it feels unique and different. And, you know, the quests
there's an idea there, which I think is important. Gazra asked, do you have to join one of the 3 factions? And you do. I think that it seems to be stuck in this place between like being a very old school MMO and having some new, like you said, the combat's really fun. The combat is fun. That big faction thing is a really good idea. But it doesn't scale to your level where you go, so you suddenly just like come into an area where everything has a skull on it, and you're like, oh right, this feels like I'm playing original WoW. It also has the traversal sucks, and I really hate it, because most of this game is just running around collecting things. Like, most of the game is running around collecting bushes and whatever. There's no sprint button, so you always feel like you're kind of running slowly. And on that big main quest thing, I had a quest today where I had to run from the like first town, and they're like, go to this second town, and it's like, okay. And I thought along the way I would be like pulled off into all these diversions. The whole time I'm running through areas with skull enemies everywhere, and it's like, you can't engage with any of this. It was a 20-minute run I needed to make from here to there, and I couldn't engage with anything in the world around me because it was all like too high level. It's stuff like that where I'm like, it just feels like this was the first draft of what they were trying to do. And instead of spending the last 12 months polishing this idea with all their betas, they spent the last 12 months going, fuck, we accidentally made a PvP game and no one wants that. We need to make a PvE game, and sticking PvE in there. And while I think that, for me, that's all a negative, I do think that in 2 years' time, this could be really cool, because there's lots of really cool ideas here. Like you said, I love the world, and I think it's really immersive and also like relatively simple for an MMO to wrap your head around, like what's going on, what everything does, your gear, how everything works. And I really love the weapon system as well as being able to change with anything on the fly incredibly quickly, and be able to like just unlock very clear, this skill is an active skill that's fun to use, and it doesn't feel like you're just sitting there like 4, 4, 5, 4, 3, 7, 4.
Yeah,
just doing
totally. I love all the spells I have. So I pretty much settled in the beta after trying a bunch of different weapons on the Great Axe and the Fire Staff, and I'm using that combo again here, and I just love it. Every time I get to open up a new spell or a new skill in my tree, it is just so exciting, and I spend ages agonizing over what to choose because they all are so awesome. Even the passive like ones are exciting. Yeah. And then I feel like for this game, even though the quests are boring right now for me, I just don't care. Like, obviously I would love it to be better, but because we're playing all together with friends and stuff, it's kind of like you're just chatting to people and just doing kind of menial tasks. For me, the biggest thing is the aesthetic of the world. If I'm going to spend any time in any open world RPG, it needs to be something that it needs to be a place that I want to spend time in. And I say that a lot, I think. And because I'm such a fantasy traditionalist, this is just it. You know, this and The Witcher capture like very traditional, beautiful European fantasy in just the most beautiful way. And every single time I am running through the forest, I'm just like in awe of just the trees and the foliage and the moss and the rocks. And I love collecting herbs. So for me, when I'm running from all those places, whether or not you're kind of fighting things on the way, I am harvesting everything. I cannot walk past a bush or a herb or a mossy log with mushrooms on it without. I love all that stuff. So I think I enjoyed that aspect of the game, even if, you know, there are some annoying things to it.
Like in those times when I'm playing it, I forget I'm playing an MMO because it feels like you're playing an RPG because of how
so
good
detailed.
It looks. Yeah, it really does feel like, it feels more like you're playing like Kingdoms of Amalur or something. Like it's not the most gorgeous looking game of all time, but it's pretty good. And so and because the combat is pretty interactive as well and active, then then it does have much more of an RPG feel about it. I think the one thing in the first sort of 15 levels, while I think the world is really beautiful, I found that like I realized today I've just always been outside, kind of in the same sort of area, which is this forest. Like this is how most of the game looks, and then there's some craggy like rock.
But I'm sure if they expand the map, that'll be like. Well, we haven't been up north yet, but I think also like new terrain stuff will come in like expansion content. Surely
it's less about the terrain and more about like when I think about what modern MMOs are. A lot of it is like if you think about Destiny, you're going around a place, and then you go into like an instanced area that has an interesting quest line, an interesting like design to it. And this is like you're always just outside running around, collecting things off the ground, and it totally could change, but it's just, you know, I've put like it says 17 hours or whatever, but it's probably been 9 of actual gameplay. But like in 9 hours, I'm still like, I'm still just running around collecting things off the ground the whole time, as opposed to going somewhere interesting and engaging in like a more. I fit,
but with Destiny though, in Destiny you do spend a lot of time in loading screens getting between those instanced areas though, and I think for an open world RPG of this kind, people don't want that. They want to feel like it's big and open and free, and they're never. But loading.
Even like a Lost Sector, right? Like I'm thinking Lost Sectors of that thing of like you can be running around and then find this hole in the place, and then you go, oh, there's this whole like completely lived in different place down here, and then I come back out into the main map and go somewhere else and that sort of thing. And I've said, and that's in a lot of other MMOs, which is one of those things of like, it's taking some of the lessons it's fixing some things that normally plague MMOs, but it's also running into some of the things that like old school MMOs sort of hit the wall with. But like I said, I'm definitely still going to be playing it, and I'm really keen to see where it goes. I want to hit level cap so that I'm ready for when they drop their first big expansion, which hopefully is like, you know, the Burning Crusade of New World, where it's like we really spend some time figuring out here's the story we want to tell, here's the thing we want to do, and really impress everybody.
I'm glad I'm not playing it.
Peter bought it and then he refunded it the next day.
So close. It was so close.
It was like an alcoholic buying a bottle of wine and then pouring it down the toilet. It was like, don't do it.
For his money
don't
back.
do it.
And I say that because like all this footage I'm watching, I'm like, that looks fun.
It looks fun, and like
I could do that.
On the same thing as you, Pete, it's like I haven't seen anything here that's like everything you guys said makes total sense, and it like has all the merits you mentioned. It's just I can't see the thing that's standing out as the wow factor, pun not intended. That's like this is the one that goes. This is the big new thing they're trying here. It just kind of feels like there's been a long time between drinks for MMOs, and so this is filling a void that a lot of people really enjoy, and that's great.
Definitely.
And there's some
the
things in there that people like.
The last big one, I guess, is it ESO or is it A Realm Reborn?
Yeah, well,
I guess kind of both.
Yeah, or
around the same time.
You could count WoW Vanilla if you wanted to as well.
That's true. Like, yeah.
But it's definitely it's a really special feeling. Like Steph said, that thing of like there are a million people all doing the same thing at the same time in this world. Like the launch of a new MMO sort of comes around once every 5 or 6 years. So of like one of like a level of quality. So even if there are a bunch of stumbling blocks, just knowing that a million other people are also watching the numbers go up, there's something intangible about it where it's like you want to be playing at the beginning, or
you sound like a gambler who has to look at the other people at the pokies and go, we're all doing this together, right?
We can stop anytime we want, right, guys?
Amira 1012 says, I just don't understand the pull here. It looks so boring. And I agree that it looks boring, but the act of doing these things in MMOs is so satisfying. WoW nailed it first, I think, in just nailing the endorphin hit of completing a quest, of doing something mundane and being told you did a good job.
And they've got a lot of I find a lot of the sound effects in this game are really satisfying as well. The thunk of your axe when you cut into a tree feels so realistic. And then the whole tree, no matter how big it is, topples down over the road when you're like out running, and it looks so epic.
I was running along today like that.
Like
that. Yeah. Oh my God, what timing. And or when you harvest a little bush and it kind of goes up in a puff of golden leaves, it's just like all those little things are just
stuff,
like,
right?
Yeah, that's the poker
It's like
machine
little
stuff,
animations and sounds that just go, you're good, you're a good person. You did a good job. Well done.
There's that, but there's also...
like,
oh, sorry, Nick. Yeah.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, it's definitely that, but for me, the biggest part about MMOs is always like, it's a different gaming experience, and for people who don't know it, it's like stepping into a game that is already running without you, and coming up, task-orientating yourself to do something fun, doing it, handing it in, and then leaving, and that world keeps going. Like, I feel like there's some things there that just feel very special. And that's what MMOs do that other games can't. And if you've never played one, that's an experience. I get a bit of that out of like survival games now, in terms of like coming up with my own objectives and what I want to do in each time I play it. And I feel like that a lot of people get a similar kind of vibe. But yeah, there's something about MMOs being like, I'm going to go now, but you guys keep existing. It's like there's something magical about that.
The towns are so beautiful as well. And also another thing that I found has been really funny is that there is like a
Sorrows
global
footage.
VoIP chat that you can toggle on or off if you want to be able to talk to randoms in the world. And I have it on at the moment and no one really uses it. But every now and again, I get somebody running past going,
That was Barjo. You were playing with him.
Yeah, but then, and so now I've taken to like running out through the world. And I don't know, most people would have it turned off because there's obviously the few like idiots who are just, do slurs and stuff like that. But every now and again, I run past people and then I'll just do push to talk and I'll just be like, nice hat, and keep going.
I thut you were going to say you were doing, and it's funny how those memes are born. Yeah.
No, we were doing it when we were like doing the little prone crawl. We would have a pile of maybe like 10 or 12 people in the cities on our stomachs, and we'd all just be whispering. And to walk past that as a player would be weird, but I love those weird moments.
I remember like the early days of PUBG. It was the first time I was exposed to it. Was in the lobbies at the start of it. People going like, "Hey Angus, mate, get on Discord." Everyone would just say that. It was like clearly someone had said that in the global voice chat at some point, and it just spread like wildfire. It's like, Angus, mate, get on Discord. Hey, Angus. Every load you would hear sosomeone say that. It was amazing.
Sorry, Nick, I did before. Yeah, you were saying.
No, well, two things. I saw someone in chat earlier, and I don't. Matt McFarlane, I think, have they announced any other content, instance dungeons, etc.? Otherwise, you're just reviewing the first 20 levels of almost any MMO. Kill these, collect these, rinse and repeat, which is totally true. Apparently, the end game is not that compelling. There's one 50-man PvE invasion raid at release, and then there's more invasion maps that they are saying are coming. I think they're in this process of like figuring out if they want their end game to be massively PvE or PvP focused, because the game was super PvP focused at the beginning. But it's not that compelling at the moment. And then the other thing I just want to say is to round it out with the talking about the feeling in the MMO. Someone in chat also said, like, don't you get that feeling from like Halo or something? And while I get that from like COD, like I'll sit down and play some games of COD to like tune out. The thing with that, even Destiny, like these are games where you need to be focusing a lot. Even when you're like chilling out, you still need to be really focused on what's happening on screen. And the nice thing about an MMO like this is like you can put on a TV show or listen to a podcast and just like focus, I would say 60% on the other thing and 40% on the game, but still be making progression. And that sounds like a really weird thing to be like, oh, I would like something that I don't need to focus too much on. But that is part of the joy of the MMO, is that you're making progression while also feeling like it's not demanding, even though it's demanding a lot of your time, it's not necessarily demanding a lot of your attention while you're playing it if you don't want it to be. So yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting, and it so rarely comes around that you get a new MMO. So I'm just excited to be playing something like this again. Steph, what else have you been playing?
I have been playing Labyrinthine. Hang on, I'm just going to put this clip in the chat because I have it, the weird laughing clip. So you can watch it. A weird laughing guy clipped it.
Well, it's him doing it, not you.
Enter.
You didn't clip yourself laughing at people.
This was
like a real person.
no, I did it. I did it as well.
yeah.
I did it as well. I caught it off him. I was participating in it. I
had Hex and Stitches. Dammer Rex 2001.
Yeah, that's the guy.
That's amazing.
That's the
Amazing.
guy.
That's so funny.
I also played my spooky horror game, Hex's spooky horror game of the week.
No, we got to name this better. What is it?
Hex's horror game of the
hijinks.
Hex's horror hijinks. Hex's
the
horror
week.
of the week.
Hex's weekly horror
The Queek.
hijinks.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that one, Pete.
Hex's weekly horror hijinks.
Yeah. So as with before, I didn't know anything about this game going into it. It's called Labyrinthine, and I sort of booted all. I obviously thought there would be some sort of labyrinth element to it, and when I booted it up, I was playing with Reese and Jens.
Just David Bowie in a codpiece.
You start off in this kind of basic sort of hedge maze as a worker at a carnival, and you have to go in and sort of set it up, before the patrons arrive tomorrow. So it's late at night and you start finding some notes of people who are just like something weird's going on. You see like creepy running and stuff like that. And, you're kind of making your way through the maze for quite a while, reading notes, figuring out, what's going to happen. And I'm expecting this to be a short instance sort of game like the previous ones we've been playing, Phasmophobia, the mummy one, where, you have several rounds where you try and escape the thing or whatever. It is not that at all. After we kind of got to the end of the first maze, we suddenly went through a gate and we had to solve some puzzles.
Even
to
that
open
scared
it.
me. It was a fucking piece of cardboard popped out.
Yeah.
It scared me.
I screamed every time. It's you're not expecting it, and it's very silent otherwise. We solved some puzzles to get through a big iron gate, and suddenly we're in this big sprawling estate with horrible, scary monsters in there that all had different methods of tracking you down and killing you, and it was very terrifying. And once we made it through, and there were sort of several puzzles we needed to solve within the maze, to be able to kind of get through each section. And the game is very good at splitting you up. It will find ways to block off areas behind you. So if you're not all in a very tight, bunched up group, it will separate you with a gate that drops or something, a creature will run after you and you will naturally go in different directions because like you'll take the first turn that you see to get away from it.
Scatter.
Because they pursue you.
It when they went.
Yeah, and I swear I don't run that far, and I could hear at one point Reese's voice just on the other side of the hedge. So I was like, oh, he's right there, and I was like, Reese, I'm coming, and I turned a corner and I was like, Reese, and then I turned around and I was like,
Oh God.
And then I turned around a few other corners and I was like, no, you just get so lost, and it really it's so well designed.
Sorry, Steph, did you go, Reese? Stop messing around. Did you do that one?
Come on, Reese, this is not funny. Quit playing around. It was very spooky in that sense. Then there were kind of like 4 main stages to the game. It was like the spooky hedge maze puzzle monster phase. And then we went into this like open forest with a lot of old mansion-y houses in them, and there was a giant a leshen from there was one of them in The Witcher. It's like a Scandinavian sort of tree monster with a big deer skull head type thing.
Nice.
That was hunting us, and it moved very quickly because it was huge, big booming steps, but doesn't like fire. So we could kind of there were little bonfires that you could kind of hide around, but there was still lots of puzzle solving that you had to do within the forest that would take you away from campfires and constantly running from this terrifying thing that would just appear. And then in all the old houses, it was very Phasmophobia, spooky stuff, creaky doors closing by themselves, like things shaking and music boxes turning on by themselves. And then we walked through the last section was an underground series of the most frustratingly complex tunnels with so many puzzles in them. I just did not expect this game to get more involved with each stage of it, and
In a good way or a bad way?
In a great way. It was so good. And then one of the developers, because the game just is in early access, was just hanging out in the chat. So I was chatting to him about it and I was like, this bit's really cool. He's like, hey, thanks. We're all here watching. And I was like, oh. And he was very good about it.
Is this procedurally, is this like rounds?
Same thing.
Yeah, or is this a linear?
So that's what I thought. It's a linear puzzle story horror game that you play through. And there's sort of 4 main sort of worlds or sections to it that you have to kind of make your way through. And there's 4 main ones right now, because when you get to the end of the game, it goes, this is the end of the current content. And something that they are currently working on in the back end is procedural generation, so that you can have replayability of this and kind of go through and everything won't be in the same place that it was.
Well, I was going to ask, because obviously the construction of the levels and stuff seems like that's not procedural. Is there, and like monsters and item placement, that's still everything's where it is every run by the sounds of it, or not?
Yeah, that's
sure.
right. Yeah, Everything would be kind of fixed and the same.
Yeah.
If you were to play through it now, but I think they're testing the procedural stuff at the moment.
You do glow sticks?
You have glow sticks, and that's the lesson.
Ooh.
So they become the glow sticks are really important because you can make it hard.
Big ravers.
Yeah, they're big ravers. Yeah. Glow sticks are important because you have the ability to turn on infinite glow sticks, which I recommend. You can try not to use them at the start, but by the end of it, you'll be spamming glow sticks everywhere. And you each can choose a different color. So you're constantly, particularly in the tunnel section at the end that was so involved and we were constantly getting separated. I was just dropping glow sticks with every part that I went. And it's so frustrating when you think you've made progress and you're like, yes, I don't recognize this section. I think I'm going to find something new soon. And then it spits you out and then you just see your own glow sticks and you're like, no, I'm going around in circles. But then it's equally like exciting when you turn a corner and then you see someone else's colored glow sticks and you're like, Reese was here. Or I'm close to Jen.
It's worse when you get to someone else and they're like, I picked up a bunch of glow sticks. You're like, oh, for God's sakes.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really cool. I highly recommend everyone play it. Play it with friends. It's
cool.
just like, it's super fun. I think you'd like it,
How
Nick.
long
I think
is
you'd really.
We've got this guy's footage is 2.5 hours and it's a full playthrough of the content. And we haven't seen past about halfway with this footage.
We were streaming and we streamed until I think 1:30 in the morning because we got so lost in that last tunnel section. But yeah,
I imagine this person has played through at least once before. So yeah, probably like a 4-hour experience first time?
I would say 3 to 4 hours depending on how many people you're playing with and how much sort of dicking around you do. But
yeah, cool.
It was really cool. I was so impressed with
cool.
it. And
it's like $14.50 on Steam, and it's got out of 3,800 reviews, it's very positive. So people are liking it.
It's super cool. It's super cool. Very impressed. It does not seem like it's going to be as good as it is when you launch into it. It seems very basic, and then all of a sudden it just continuously builds on itself and gets bigger and more spooky and scary.
Yeah, cool. Beautiful. That is labyrinthine. Is that what we're agreeing on?
I don't know, labyrinthine. You'd think it'd be labyrinthian, but it's not. It's not spelt that way. So I'm saying labyrinthine.
That to the developer?
yeah,
I would do that. That's something I would do.
Spell it.
Might have been be like, you know what you should do.
You know what I would have done.
Might be a copyright thing. I don't know.
Well, you and I had a very similar gaming week, I feel like, because we both played MMOs, and I too played a slightly creepy horror game. Pete, bring up the horror of Inscription.
I'm so sorry to do this. I need to go to the bathroom, and I would never do this. But
Peter, it's all that control in your wine.
I know. I'll be right back.
Please.
Hopefully this footage is sufficient.
It is. So this is Inscription, and it's technically not out yet, but there is a demo on Steam at the moment. This is from the developer, and I need to get his name, Daniel Mullins, who made Pony Island, which was a little indie game that came out. Yeah,
that was weird. I never understood Pony Island.
And I loved Pony Island. So this is his new game. It's a horror sort of like deck building card game, obviously, but it just has so much personality. It is awesome. You're in this cabin. Like, it basically has a full-on narrative to it. So it's kind of like Slay the Spire, where you're building this deck of cards and you're like, between each round, you're like discarding cards and getting new ones to like build your deck up. But you're in this cabin facing off against this weird monster thing with dark eyes. The scoring system is that like every time you lay down your cards, they lay down theirs. If they have a card opposite yours, it blocks that attack. If it doesn't, then you deal damage to your opponent. When you deal damage to your opponent, it has this scale system, which I think is really cool, which I haven't seen before, where if you do 2 damage to them, they get 2 weights on their scale, and you win when their scale goes to the bottom. But if they deal 3 damage to you, your scale evens out and then goes down 1. So suddenly they're now up, because you technically have more overall damage done to you. So now you're losing on this scale system, which is pretty cool. And I was like, what is this scale thing? They keep dropping things on there. I don't know what it is. And then in between rounds, you get these different items that it gives you. And it's like, you can use like a bottle with a card in it. So you can like get that card if you really need to. And you see there's a pair of pliers. And at one point he gave me a pair of pliers and he's like, here, you can have these. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, this can help you balance the scales if you're losing. I'm like, okay. So I started losing. I was like, I'll use the pliers. I use the pliers. My character starts groaning and then rips out 2 teeth and then drops them on the scale. And it's like, what the fuck am I playing?
Oh my God.
The way that it works, it's also like the card combat mechanic is really cool. It instead of mana, you basically it's all blood sacrifices. So you put down cards, and they're all sort of animals, like vicious animals in a way, and you like a river snapper turtle, and
the sparrow.
And the sparrow,
famously aggressive.
And then on the left-hand side, that's the stout, and the stout, like you can see there, I don't know if it's just in this demo, but the stout begins talking to you.
Stoat.
It begins talking to you and like saying, hey, you and I can get out of here. Like we'll figure out how. And so in a choice where you go like, do you want to pick the stoat or do you want to pick like this viper thing? I'm always like, the viper looks really cool, but the stoat is telling me that like it knows what the fuck's going on here. So stoat wins every single time. But anyway, so it watches the blood sacrifice things and you see the blood drop on there. That's how much it costs to cast that card. And the way that you get blood is every turn you have cards on the board and then you sacrifice them and they give you blood or bones, and blood and bones are the 2 sort of like mechanics that you use, the currencies that you use to play your cards down. So it's all about like putting animals down, sacrificing them to put down better animals. And each turn, between each hand, you have a choice of drawing from your deck, which has all the like more powerful cards that you want, or drawing from the squirrel deck. And a squirrel is just like a free card that you put down to just sacrifice. And then
I love the art for it. It looks
it's
awesome.
So cool. And like the whole thing has this like weird, like the music, the sound effects, all the vibes, this constant animation. In between rounds, like you stand up and like start exploring the cabin in some way. And then the coolest thing about this is at the end.
Spoilers.
So I died. And the guy and the
demo of the demo,
the sort of like of the demo,
he doesn't get given for spoilers, but sure, okay.
But the I die, and the things like the hands come out and like out of the darkness there and grab me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like now I'll just restart and do another run, and then I get and then so it goes dark, and then I come back up. I get thrown in a room in the cabin, and it's standing there in the shadow, and it goes.
Is this all like played out like an animation,
You're
like
finally awake.
a cutscene?
Yeah.
First person?
For all first person, yeah.
Okay.
And it goes, before I kill you, I want a memento. And it starts going, which card did you like the most? And I'm like, well, it was the stoat. And so it's like, okay, well, you like the stoat here. And it's like, which power on the cards, because all the cards have like different abilities and stuff, which ability did you like? And I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of like the vampire bat thing that kills anything it damages. Okay, cool. And then it goes, you never told me your name. And I go, and then it goes, tell me your name. And like a cursor comes up and I write Nick. And then it holds up a card and it's the stoat damage with the bat ability, and the card is called Nick, and then it goes, and the final piece, and then he takes out a camera and snaps a picture, and the screen goes white, and then I just hear him go like, "I'll keep this for the next run," and then he is now going to play my
Nick card.
The Nick card against me in the next fucking run.
I thought he was giving it to you, and you're like, "Cool, I got a super pack."
That's amazing.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
I love those fourth wall breaking kind of moments almost, where it's just like that Doki Doki thing of just kind of going into the game files and stuff like that.
Totally.
You're kind of doing it, and you're like, "Is this actually happening?"
That's it. Is it really that intimidating when the evil eye is in the dark and you're playing cards like Wolf and Viper, and he puts down a card that's this? And it's just the card going, what the hell is that?
It looks like maybe Luaga has played the game and says you will get to actually play the Nick card.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
how you at the end of the run build a card
That's
that
awesome.
like
That's
suits your
awesome.
play style,
Great.
which is cool. I thought I think it's a cool idea. Either way, it's cool that you get to build your own card. And build to your playstyle, but it would also be cool if the game challenges you to play against your own playstyle, which sounded like what would be the case if they played the Nick against you. It's like
next time, exactly. What's your favorite card? Squirrel.
Well,
What's your favorite squirrel?
Squirrel power.
You'd be able to anticipate their every move because they're you, right? So you'd be like, now I know that Nick would play this card in this moment. So,
but it's also the fucked up thing that I imagine this game would do is like start playing like here's all the dead people that I beat.
Yes.
But anyway, so I did like this one full run. And then I went, oh, maybe I don't want to play anymore because it comes out in 2 weeks on the 20th of October. And I think I probably just want to play the whole thing like as one. But there's tons of really cool ideas in here. Exploring that cabin, there's all sorts of like weird secrets and weird shit going on. And then even if you stripped all of that stuff out, the card game is really interesting. Like, if you got rid of all the flavor and it was literally just like numbers on a board,
it stands on its own as a card game.
Compelling, like deck building card game thing.
That's
so
awesome.
Side note, that animation and camera moves, it looks so gratifying. Like the way it just moves you around, you're like, click there, click there, click there. Like it looks the way card games often, like you are thinking quite fast. It looks just, this gameplay at least that we're watching now, how satisfyingly you're bouncing around between your deck, your hand, the scales, that thing. And other stuff. It's like,
you can use WS or the mouse wheel to sort of like go between your hand,
cool.
the like deeper in your hand, the board, like that jumping back and forth thing, and it looks great in widescreen as well. Like,
it's great.
I played it at like 12:30 at night in the dark with this. I was just like, fuck, this feels
let me just crank the audio for a sec, because it sounds like there's like some low bit, like really crushed audio and stuff in it as well. Like,
just
like clanking and bottles and stuff.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I think when this guy plays a card, we'll see. Oh yeah.
It's really cool. It's just got so much style and personality.
Doesn't it?
Inscription, INSCRYPTION. So it's like crypt in the middle. But super cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in a couple of weeks as a full release.
Yeah, 2 weeks, but there's a free demo on Steam right now, but it comes out on the 20th of October. And I reckon even if you don't like card games, you'll like it for the like vibe of what's going on.
Totally.
And just a reminder that you'll need a prescription if you're going to go and get the Codra with the pseudoephedrine in it over the counter.
Otherwise you'll look like the guy Pete sitting opposite that table playing cards with this guy.
Peter Burns, what have you been playing?
Oh shit, I've been playing Halo, motherfuckers.
He's regressed at least 9 years.
Oh man, what a awesome weekend I had playing Halo. This weekend, the weekend just gone by was the flight for 4v4 PvP, and introduced a new map, which we're seeing now from the previous flight. And this coming weekend is Big Team Battle, which is going to be super fun. But the 4v4 is like the heart of Halo for me. I absolutely love it. I'm so bad at it, but I will get good at it again. From December 9th, the only thing that's going to be in my what we've been playing for the next 12 months is going to be Halo. So I'll try and play some things between now and then. But I adore it. I said after the first flight that it was feeling really good. I still think it feels excellent. They've made some tweaks since then. I think they've still got a little bit of tweaking to go. But in terms of core gameplay, I'm really, really happy with where it's at. I think all the guns are interesting in how they're balanced. I think from a purely competitive standpoint, the BR is going to be the gun, and we're going to see some really, really classic PvP Halo. I think, and Nick, I really want to pick your brain on this as well. I think the social game style of things is going to be really fun as well. I think all of the guns are fun to use. So the assault rifle is strong, and we're going to see that be actually useful in a lot of games. There's some fun power weapons. There's a lot of fun bits of gadgets and gear to throw around, including the grapple, obviously, is absolutely a highlight. And the repulsor, which we didn't see in the last flight, which is a wrist-worn thing that kind of ejects things away from you. You can use it to... Pros are using it to maneuver around the map really quickly, and at its most basic level, it reflects... it shoots back at the thing that shot at you, the charged plasma pistol or a rocket, or bumps a vehicle away from you. So it's this really strong, fun tool. But yeah, I could just gush about it. But people know I love Halo, and this Halo feels more like Halo than anything has felt since before Reach came out. So I'm totally in love with it, and I just want to. That's all I can think about.
How is this map?
This map is cool. I guess that's a good point. This map is interesting. I only played it a couple of times over the weekend. It feels like 3 of the 4 maps are... Well, actually, two of the 4 maps are really symmetrical. This is one of them. And I think that's always good to have symmetrical maps. They're interesting to play around, but they're not necessarily the most dynamic and interesting in 4v4 Slayer. But for Capture the Flag, awesome. So I had a lot of fun on it, yeah. Nick, how do you feel as someone new to Halo, really?
Yeah, because I got in as well and I was playing over the weekend. I think it's so much fun. It is so much fun. I can totally see this being something that maybe since I'm not too psyched for Vanguard, this could be something that becomes my shooter for next year. It's going to be this or Battlefield, probably. I think the most impressive thing about it, as someone who never played multiplayer Halo, and, well, that's not true. I played 5 minutes of Halo 3 a couple of weeks ago and turned it off after 5 minutes going, this feels like dog shit. And of course it doesn't feel like dog shit. It's just that shooters have progressed since then. But I was just like, I cannot play this. I think the most impressive thing about this is that, to me, this feels like a 2021 modern shooter that has a good amount of pace. The guns feel cool. It feels really energetic, and you feel really agile. And for you, this feels like all the things that you loved about Halo when you loved Halo. And obviously, it's changed. I don't know how they've done that, of going... It's honestly staggering. To you, it's like, this recaptures everything I loved about Halo, and I'm like, oh, they've gone rid of all the shit that I never liked about Halo. And it's like, how? But the things that Pete liked were the things that I hated. So how does? Are we playing two different? Is it just serving me a different game than it is Pete?
Maybe it's you that's changed, Nick, and not the game.
It's totally not in 2 weeks.
No. It's the game has somehow found an incredible middle ground. And I mean,
which is strange, because it's kind of at odds with itself. Those two styles of game, there are things that people love about one that are completely different in the other. And it's like, as you said, it's a feat in itself to be able to... Because I just thought it couldn't be done.
I also thought it couldn't be done after... I think, for me, I first started feeling like... And it's not 343's fault. Bungie started the trend of stepping away from their own core Halo design with Reach, in introducing loadouts and sprint and some movement systems that at the time felt so wrong to a really just hardcore Halo player. I know I loved the Reach campaign. I think it's probably the most interesting Halo story told in a campaign. But in terms of multiplayer, it felt like it was trying to be something that Halo never was, and that didn't feel great. It felt like the systems at play were compromised, the idea of everyone starting with the same equipment and heading out into the map to like, and that's where the sandbox comes into play, is how can we control not just the map in a COD style of like, let's hold the right spots. It's how do we control the map knowing that throughout the course of this 12-minute game, power weapons are going to spawn, which are going to change the flow of the game. Power items are going to spawn, which are going to change the flow of the game. Do we need both? Do we want to focus one? Do we stick together as a team here? Do we split up? What are the best positions to hold? This turned out to be my favorite map. I can't remember the name of it. It's like, I think it's like...
yeah, I can't remember.
But it's not symmetrical, and it has some... And that just gives it a feel that is like far more dynamic. You can hold this tower. Holding this tower feels different to holding blue tower. Is so different to holding orange tower.
Yeah, totally.
And where your team positions themselves around that stuff, as opposed to it just being like, well, obviously you have one person at the top and people on the flanks and whatever.
But they've also taken like they've also taken like it doesn't feel like COD, but it feels much closer to COD than Halo used to. But the gameplay, like playing with you, was a wildly different experience than playing with just like randos, because you were starting to like, you were like, this is what we need to do in this scenario. And it was like, oh, okay, this is not just like go and kill as many people as you possibly can. This was like make people come to you, and like very much more tactical, which it's really looking tactical. Forward to like exploring that. But at the same time, like I will also go into games where I'm like, I can run around and accomplish a lot if I'm just like playing more casually and not feel like I'm getting my ass absolutely handed to me. My only critique of it is that to me, the guns feel a bit light, that all the weapons feel like they don't, I wish they had a little more feeling of impact and a bit more like feedback when you shoot them. They have, or to me, they all feel a bit like space weapony, which they are, but like where it's like you're kind of shooting out, it's nearly just air most of the time. And I think I'm used to much more like the guns feel like they're just spitting bullets out. From memory,
that's one of the things the wrong direction they kind of went in, wasn't it, Pete? Like they tried to make them COD style weapons that had heaps more grunt. They were, they were metal chamber, like the sound reverberated and they all rattled, and it was kind of like it distracted you from how you would play a multiplayer.
It was more the idea of, because you're right, it's very much like this is such a basic shooter. And one of the things I really like about what they've done is they've removed aim down sight from this game for everything but like scoped weapons. There's still a zoom for people who feel like they need it, like in terms of like that's what a gun does in 2021.
Yes,
and for you pull the left trigger and you get a bit of zoom in, and that's a really good compromise. Where in Halo 5, the gun would go from the idea. Still goes back to these hipfire days of like, I mean, the lore idea is that the Master Chief is
too big,
weighs 2.5 tons, and recoil doesn't mean anything, right? Yeah, there is no recoil to a gun, which is what COD does, right? Is it feels like this thing's out of control in my hands, whatever. Where that doesn't make sense. So the aim down sight is this thing that they introduced in 5 that. Halo 5 is still slower than COD, but it probably is roughly the same pace as COD. This is definitely slower than COD in terms of how fast you move around the maps and stuff.
Yeah.
The aim down sight in COD is about making your fire more accurate, and it's a choice of whether to shoot from the hip, and you rarely shoot from the hip in COD, right? Like you aim down sight because it tightens your bullet spread. That doesn't happen in Halo. And
if Nick plays like that, it's still I
totally played like that,
and you still can, and you're not penalized for it, and you're not given an advantage for it.
Yeah, and it doesn't slow down your run to bring the sights up. Right. It doesn't. There's basically no transition. It's like you're there straight away. You don't get pulled out of it.
Same deal with sprint.
Shot. So
the same deal with sprint. Like I like. There's a default. The default setting has. The aim down sight, the faux aim down sight attached to your left trigger. For me, I got rid of that immediately. Left trigger is grenade. Halo, it's always grenade. Grenades are so much more important. And again, it's about strategy, right? It's about like
totally like start or end a fight with a grenade.
That's so funny though. I can't think of any other game where the grenade has been on a trigger.
Well, again,
it's on a bumper maybe, but
it used to be common, right? Like it used to be the thing. I mean, at least in Halo, it was all it ever was. And then Halo changed to try and keep up with trends and moved away from itself a little bit. The thing about Halo 5, aiming down sight again, is that there was a time delay between you aiming down sight, returning out of it, and firing, and the same with sprinting. So there's the animations of locking into the ADS and coming back out of it. You couldn't fire, and in sprinting, there was a recovery from sprinting. Sprinting was much faster, so the advantage of sprinting was that you moved quicker. In this, I think the movement speed is like 10% faster or something when you sprint. So it's pretty insignificant, and you're not penalized. You can fire out a sprint, and you immediately shoot, as you would if you were running gun at.
Do you think this has the potential to become like competitive esport, or do you think things like no ADS is going to prevent it from, getting?
I mean, it was the biggest shooter in the world for a very long time. Halo, without any ADS. Like
that was how Miles got his
the biggest console shooter. Yeah, he was a professional Halo 2 player and Halo 3 player.
Yeah.
Yes, I do think it has the opportunity to. I think they found because I think this can live alongside COD, whereas Halo 5 couldn't. Halo 5 wasn't interesting enough a game. It wasn't different enough, and it wasn't. I don't think it had the player base either of being kind of this locked to one system where COD is, COD professionally is played on PlayStation, but COD as an idea is across so many platforms.
And the advantage that this has is like this is a platform. It's not a yearly game. Like Battlefield there's gonna be a new Battlefield that comes out that replaces the new Battlefield. There's gonna be a new COD every year. They will just release maps to this like Halo service for, I mean, in theory, the next 10 years. Like that could be what they do. So I think that it gives you the chance to be credible at something. Without the feeling of like they're going to change the game underneath you. I also think it's just so impressive looking at this map, and in fact all the maps again. Like I'm like, I even asked you, I was like, are these old maps that they've redone? And you said no. I was like, it's amazing that they've captured the idea of like this. To me, I'm like, this is the most Halo-ass map I can possibly whereas like I couldn't necessarily say that about like a COD map. It's just like they're very detailed. That's all it is.
It's made of bits that get to play an arena build versus COD still has to be a functional space in some form of reality. Exactly. And so that's the joy of these is they're still grounded in some, they're on a planet surface of sorts, but what they get to be is Forerunner tech, and that's why they have
they've talked about it as well because like part of the big part of the miss for me with Halo 5's multiplayer was that most of those maps were built on, I think all of them were built in Forge. Forge is the map builder that they had with Halo 3. It was this brilliant, powerful thing back then, and evolved with iterative releases. And Halo 5's maps were built by the developers in that engine to go like, hey, you can build anything you want. The problem with it was that everything looked like it was built like a shitty training ground. It was all space walls, exactly. Yeah. It didn't have a
Lego set.
Yeah, it's not true of all of them. There are actually Halo 5 maps that aren't that, but I think like at least in the kind of the competitive playlist, a lot of them were, and they just like lacked the personality of Halo. And I think you're right that these capture the personality of Halo, even in being this grey space. There's this crazy science stuff happening in parts of the room. The sand map definitely feels like Halo. It feels like,
but I don't even know what Halo feels like, and so that's why I think it's amazing that it's like I don't know what Halo feels like, but I can tell you this feels like fucking Halo. So I'm so keen. Like I've been thinking about it all week. I'm so excited for the new one to open up this week, and I think I read that it's open for everyone this weekend.
It's not open for, as recently as a couple of days ago, the latest wasn't it's open for everyone, but it's definitely open for a lot more. I think anyone who applies for the Insider should basically get it.
They've opened it up to all Xbox Insiders. So
Xbox Insiders, that's right.
You can apply
not necessarily all
anyway,
PC Insiders.
Yeah, that's
you can.
like-
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait for this to come out. This was so like I was curious about it, and now I've played it. And I'm like, oh, I really want to learn how to be good at this, but I don't want to play with Pete because I will make him angry.
No, but it's so not that. It's like I think like I'm excited to. I would love to find people who are shitloads better than me to pick, like, to raise me back up out of how fucking like
You only had to ask, mate. You only had to ask.
average I've become at it. But like, you know, by the end of the weekend, I was starting to feel like every now and then I'd have a round where I'm like, yeah, I'm four-shotting people. I'm four-shotting people and feeling like I'm actually hitting everything that I'm trying to achieve.
And you kept saying you just want you want to find people to be sweaty with. Like you want people who it's like, we're taking this too seriously.
And so much of that is not just like be the best player in the world. It's just like and it's what I love about Dota as well. It's like the idea of communicating with the team.
Call-outs and stuff. Yeah.
And COD absolutely has that at a pro level. But,
it's hard to do
but not like this because the time to kill in Halo is something else, right? It's like every time you encounter someone, it's
oh my god,
it's a dance.
It's a 45-minute fucking fight. It's
proper. It's get in those other shooters.
Exactly. It's like it's a proper encounter. It's about besting someone's. It's about being more skilled than them, not getting the jump on them, but also it's about team shooting, right? It's like it's going to take me 4 shots to kill this guy, but if 2 of us get 2 shots on him, he's dead. So it's like it's coordinating with a team in a way that you can have no kills and still have been the best player on your team because you contributed to.
Yeah.
You dealt out enough damage and you positioned yourself really well, and it's just like it's just such a beautiful thing. And I'm glad you're seeing part of that. I just get so emotional about Halo because it was like such a big part of my life for such a long time.
Well, I was going to say
it's pathetic, but I love it.
It's not pathetic. No, it's not at all. My favorite part of the whole flight was when we were playing together, and I think we were holding Blue Tower, and you were talking about like how important communication is in this, but I was like, I'm still learning everything about this game. And then at one point you were like, okay, there's 2 in orange. And then I saw someone coming up behind me, and I'm like, we've got 1 coming up the stairs behind us. And you just go, great communication, Nick. And like, you just turn around, like fucking just destroy him. But when you said that, I was just like,
My thing is I'm always like behind. Oh my god, sorry, that light keeps falling. I always go behind, and everyone's like, Steph, no one is next to you. They don't know behind you is.
I've got friends who go, he's over there. I'm like, I don't know where you are, mate. Like, come on.
Yeah. Good. So yeah,
in Fortnite, awesome. Barjo's over there. He's over there.
What else you been playing?
Yeah, just quickly, I'll touch on as well. I've been playing with my Dota boys, schoolmates. We played this way back in the day. I've been playing Diablo 2, with them. Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's a D2. I've played all the D2s. Destiny 2, Diablo 2, and the Dotas. And Resurrected is... it's a lovely facelift. It is still a very old game. I certainly wouldn't recommend picking this up as your first Diablo game just because it's the latest thing to come out. But for anyone who has any love for Diablo 2, this is that kind of remaster that feels like it always looked this good, didn't it? It always looked just like it always was this pretty, and it was not always this pretty. So like, if you can get used to the old systems, you're gonna have a really good time.
Do you have an example of the toggle on/off facelift thing?
I do. I think it was like 10 minutes, 18 seconds in, I started tweaking around with it. Yeah. So this is a dungeon that is in Act 1. I've run through Act 1 twice and started Act 2 twice and there you go. There's the toggle back to the old 4-3.
Oh, wow.
And it looks it doesn't look as bad here as it does on a big monitor. It looks really, really, really rough. Yeah, that old mode, because it's like, and it's the classic thing of like those old really sharp pixels were designed for CRT monitors. Yeah, CRT softened all that out and really made it look like something quite
Now it's being shown on your ultra wide. It's like, don't look at me like this.
And now, and now it's so sharp on your screen that you're like, oh my god, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's not actually made for ultra wide. It actually, you can see that it goes to black at the edges, which is a design choice, but like they've vignetted hard to the edge, so it doesn't actually fill your ultra wide monitor, which is a bit disappointing.
Is that a design choice to put in that like little toggle back to old graphics, so the developers can constantly remind you that this looks a bit better, like so that you don't do that thing of going, this is how it's always looked. They're like, no, look.
I reckon totally, because there is so much of that. Every time I play a remastered game, I'm like, I don't know, this just looks how I remember it. And then you go and look at a screenshot of it from before and you're like, oh God.
It's the developer. No, it looked like this. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
So what is it about it that still feels like old, considering I guess the genre's being pushed forward with something like Paths of Exile particularly.
I'm playing it tomorrow night, but people have been saying the corpse run is brutal. Like, it's just, I feel like there's a way that these kinds of games have been gamified, to improve quality of life, that this hasn't. And I feel like
quality of life in this.
I feel like that's going to be a sticking point for a lot of people, especially, I played Diablo 3. I've never played this, and everyone's been saying if you've played Diablo 3, you need to prepare yourself for the fact that this is going to be hardcore. It's going to be brutal. You're going to find it frustrating in ways that you didn't find Diablo 3 frustrating.
But the ultimate makes sense
because apparently. You go and I'll say my pithy
quick point was like the alternate is they remake 2 in the 3 engine and everyone's fucking furious and you're like, well, you couldn't win that way either.
And to be fair, like everyone I've spoken to who played it back in the day loves like playing it again now. They're just like, this is exactly how I remember it. I'm back with my mates in my like bedroom when I live with my parents and stuff. Like, it's nice. Like I get that there's a nice
COVID
nostalgia for those people.
hard.
Yeah. The horse wasn't too good, but I'm back with the parents and I'm playing Diablo.
But yeah, I guess it's one of those things where, and I have this every time I play a remastered game that I didn't play the original. I'm like, I don't think that I don't know if the game is compelling enough for me to get over the fact that I don't have a emotional connection to it, but it's always kind of a 50-50 chance. We'll see.
Your mates is keen on it as well, Pete? Like, were they having fun?
Yeah, we're all like, it's really interesting. It's frustrating to play. The struggle of it is like I'm finding it frustrating to play at points. One of the things that is like we're getting shitty at each other because there's no shared loot, and I'm playing this spellcaster, so I stay way out of the fights. And fucking Jimmy is a paladin who just tanks everything and then steals all the good loot. And he might get something that's really good for a sorcerer, but he'll sell it because it's like, oh, but it was worth $4,500.
Oh, no.
It's like, yeah, but that would have been great for my stats. To be fair, Jimmy did get me a ring.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck Jimmy though.
All right.
So it's like
the ring of forgiveness.
God damn it, Jimmy.
So there's that dynamic, which is you're playing against each other as well as the game in that sense. You are, you're playing against the game because there's things like a stamina bar that runs out and suddenly you can't move across. You're moving across the map really slowly for what feels like no reason. There's no reason to be slow ever in the game. Like your sprint isn't that quick. It's just frustratingly slow to be like exhausted and have to walk. It makes sense in combat because like some classes use stamina as as part of a pool that they need for
Wait, you can run out of stamina just walking across the map.
Running across the map.
Running across, right, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit, yeah.
Pete, you need a teleport bait. Yeah, and yes, you fill up your inventory's tiny, so you fill it up and then you town portal back and you sell all your shit. You use potions, like you use 8 potions a fight and 1 million drop. So you're constantly full of those little consumables and stuff. It's just things that have been tidied in modern versions of what Diablo's done. But
I remember potting heaps in Diablo 3 as well, though. But that might just be because I'm trash.
Yeah,
prepare for tomorrow night, Steph. Certainly, you're gonna be like, I'm over this.
You certainly would pot a bit, but like I will say it's still really compelling because the story is strong, the quests are strong. like you encounter, like you get the first act is 6 quests basically. It asks you to walk through procedurally generated maps. Like it kind of like sprawls out the important parts of the things on the maps in different places. So it's not always just like, oh, we know Deckard's over here. Is Jimmy in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
You set our entire chat against him.
Yeah, good.
They're all like, fuck you, Jimmy.
Can we get a chant that says, fuck you, Jimmy? I hope everyone noted Peter's 100 potions to 3 pieces of loot. Yeah, I mean, this was the first 5 minutes of the game when I didn't realize how many potions I was picking up. Yeah, fuck Jimmy. Jimmy's one of my best mates. I love him dearly. And we're definitely going to play more of this together because we've played through to Act 2 twice. But yeah, the quests are really fun. You encounter what feels like a fun enemy at the end of each quest, and
Spiceman just says, "Blow me, Jimbo."
That's not what was asked. Like, he's like, he's the one who yells out in the crowd, but no one else says something different.
That was improv. He just he took it somewhere else.
I mean, Blizzard are just in a weird fucking spot at the moment, besides the fact that it sounds like an absolute goddamn trash fire over there. Like, putting this... I guess you're right that, like, putting this out... Like, you're putting it out, you don't want to change it. You want to up-res it, but you don't want to change the game because there are other... Like, there's been other Diablos, and there will be another Diablo. Diablo 4 is coming at some point, so that's the new Diablo. You want to recapture this feeling, but it's like... The last original idea that they released was Heroes of the Storm in 2015. Then it was Overwatch, Diablo Immortal, Overwatch 2 is coming, Diablo 4. They're doing like WoW Vanilla. Yeah, Burning Crusade. It's like, what? Are you all just too busy sexually harassing each other over there to come up with an original idea for a video game? And instead, this is like what we get is just constantly porting or remaking your old titles. It's just it's strange as to like why this exists.
I mean it must be financially lucrative for them, right? Or they wouldn't do it. Like if they've got assets that they've got a cheap way of kind of getting another wave of people, interested in it again.
I don't know, man. I reckon nostalgia sells more than innovation these days, and has.
We were just talking about
the
fact that movies as well. They're just remaking everything. They're remaking Interview with the Vampire. What was the other one that you said? Willy Wonka with Timothy Chalamet.
But yeah, it's now more bankable to go there. It's not just like cute and ironic that people like that one more or going back to it. It's like, no, financially on the books, going back is better than going forward.
Totally, because they're like, this is a known win because this was successful in the past, and a new idea is a risk because people might not like it.
Yeah.
So yes, heaps of criticisms, but I kind of adore it.
Yeah, fair.
I think anyone
is this
who
Jimmy
played...
still or the game?
Both.
Jimmy.
Here's the old
look at that walk cycle.
Desert. Yeah.
Old Jimmy.
That's great.
It's just got something, man. It's so delightful.
It did something right to be that popular back then. So yeah, it's definitely going to still feel fun.
Yeah. This game is a metaphor for Jimmy, says Multifish. We can leave Jimmy alone now.
Well, I bet he wasn't expecting that when he came to support his friend's Twitch show.
I know. He's watching this trash.
Jimmy, feel free to head to patreon.com/backpocket. It does a few bucks our way. All right, cool. So that's Halo Infinite and Diablo 2. Resurrected. Angus, what do you got for us?
Well, kind of similar to Pete, playing games with some friends of mine, my old school chums. We've been playing a lot of shooters recently. We played a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm keen to get them onto Halo, but we've been playing heaps of Battlefield 1. There's a couple of Aussie servers still running, and we played that. And even a friend of mine who doesn't play that many shooters is getting really into it, and he's getting better. And he's like, guys, I'm better at killing people. It's like, yeah, this is great. So we've been playing heaps of that, and I think... in the lead up to what I want to talk about, which is a new game that came out this week, or a re-release of another game, I thought I'd just show you, this is like a quick montage of just like how much fun we're having in Battlefield. Like, crank the volume, Pete. Have a quick watch.
We have a clip.
Just atmosphere.
Planes.
It's just cinematic.
I mean, when you put cinematic music behind it, basically.
Yeah.
Look what I'm doing here. What's this?
Yep. Yeah, that's fun.
That's sick. That scream. Battlefield 1 is so good, man.
So we've been playing Battlefield 1, And it's been amazing. And then my friends got really excited because a game came out this week, which was a Xbox One X, Series X and PlayStation 5 port of Insurgency Sandstorm, which is a Desert Storm style, super realistic military shooter that people have been raving about on PC. It came out in 2018. People are like the sound, the realism, the atmosphere. And I've got a clip of we played a bit of that. So Peter, if you just want to play a little bit of that now, please.
If you have a clip. Sick. Holy shit.
Oh my god, just die.
Whoa.
What?
Yes, Gus.
So that's what I've been playing.
I mean, to be fair, you did edit all that stuff out of the Battlefield montage.
It barely took me. This is a 2018 PC game, and that has had delays of getting a port onto onto console. And it did come out this week. We all got it. We all jumped in to play a little bit of it, and overall, not particularly thrilled with it. We tried a couple of modes. It is all online focused. There is some solo stuff you can do, but it's basically there are some cool PvP and PvE modes, and I think I've just got some general gameplay that's a little more dramatic than that.
1 second, I've got the Parsec shift lock thing happening.
But essentially, the thing we were looking forward to in this was PvE, player versus enemy. There is a great couple of modes that there's like you and up to 8 people play together to do like a Battlefield style push up through checkpoints where waves of enemies are coming at you. Waves, guys, waves. And as you're shooting them, you're taking areas, and the AI is trying to take back these spots, which is always just fun to have like wonky AI that are all trying to take back these checkpoints. And when you end up actually holding one for long enough and capturing it, all the enemies who are around retreat to the next one further back. So it's watching all these AI suddenly turn and like leg it back to another point and set up to try and defend that point as well. So there were some cool systems. There's like a fortress mode where you just bunker down in an area and you just get waves of them coming at you. And we thought this would be really fun. However, and this is going to be really picky, but you can't play privately with friends. You have to, it's all server based, and you have to, every match you join, it has to drag in 8 other people to play with you, up to, or like to
a total of what? Sorry, what's
that? The total is 8, I should say. So we get in there and we party up.
Wait, but you could still party up to get into it.
You can still party up with your friends.
But if you got 4, there's 4 randos as well.
Right,
if you've got 3 in our case, we have to wait to get the rest of the randos in there as well, which I've got nothing against playing with randos, but some of our best, experiences have come from playing like Rainbow Six Siege Terrorist Hunt, playing just with us and like, pretending we're moving through this, making all the calls. Now we got these people just randomly running around. And like another 5 of them.
That's annoying.
That's for every mode. There is no way to do a private lobby. And it was an absolute deal breaker.
Did people use VC? Like, are you talking to the randoms or you?
Couple of people. It's exactly what you'd expect. Some people jump on. They're like, Tango's on the left roof, heading over there now. I'm like, cool. And it does it. There's some great sound design in this. Like, it does the little radio crackle and does the little sound in your earpiece and stuff.
Yeah.
There's some moments of it where it's some like really cool military sim
Classic
stuff shines
Jimmy.
through.
So now everything negative about a game is called a Jimmy.
Oh, this thing's full of Jimmys. But like, there's some cool moments. Like there's some things where it's like the night vision is super like a singular ocular night vision that when people are firing, everything lights up. It looks like Black Hawk Down, and that's cool. The second you take any of that polish away, I've been spoiled by video games. Like, this looks like shit. This feels like someone modded Counter-Strike to be a bit better. And the reason this has such a cult following on PC is because people aren't playing it for the graphics. They're stripping it back and they're playing it with a mouse and keyboard. They're getting sweaty with it, as Pete would say, and they are playing PvP, and they know the maps like it's kind of Counter-Strike. So it's not an enjoyable big screen console play with your friends kind of game. It is a PC game, I think, at heart, and I found it really disappointing on PC, which sucks because we all dived
on
in.
Xbox, sorry, you play on Xbox?
I'm playing on, we're all playing on Series X, and it's on PS5 as well. It has like, it's one shot to kill you kind of thing, so they rave about like it's super realistic. But if you want to play against the AI, they're 2018 open map AI. Like, there's still gonna be like, where the hell is everyone going? And why is that guy running into this room and not shooting at me when another guy can pinpoint me from a rooftop miles away? Like, is that realistic, or is that just video games trying to deal with a bunch of systems? So I never really felt very, like as a sim, it didn't feel very engaging. And yeah, and great, the guns sound good. People are like, they went onto the range and they recorded them for real. I'm like, COD does that. And it's like, oh,
every game does that. That's how you make video game gun sounds. How else do you think you get gun sounds in games in 2021?
The dust and explosions look really realistic. I'm like, a chopper went down at one point. I was like, I was just in Battlefield 1, and a man covered in mud screamed as he flung over me as a horse burst into flames. And I'm like, this was like, yeah, I guess. So, yeah, unfortunately, I
feel bad for you. But, like, when you said that this was your most anticipated game of the week on the Monday show on the game plan, I was just like, her?
What?
This is
Egg?
Really like this is what have you confused this with a different game?
Because I've played wonky.
On paper, it sounds right, man. Like
Totally,
it sounds perfect.
totally.
It sounds like the kind of thing that you and your mates like,
People
and even like I
love
would
this.
really enjoy it. I love playing. Like I miss playing Terrorist Hunt, Raven Shield, and stuff. And I think it's still great in Rainbow Six, but
I think the
Siege,
thing,
but.
The thing that would have pushed us across the line would be the ability to make private servers or lobbies and do custom maps and go, cool, we love this map and we love it at night and we want to set it with, high density terrorists and we want to get from A to B. And some of that customizability, I think, would have gone past the wonk. We definitely don't want to dive into PvP because the people who play this and love this are just going to be...
Tingers on the roof.
They're going to be doing this. They're going to be like half crouch, sideways angling through a bit of latticing that they can shoot you through. I'm like, that's not fun either. So, unfortunately, this was a massive disappointment. We are straight back to Battlefield, and we're like, let's not waste our energy on this. If they're watching now, guys, it's off the pile. We're not playing this. We're waiting for Battlefield 2042. This will just make us worse.
What's one of your friends' names?
Marcus.
Yeah, fuck Marcus.
Marcus is a real Jimmy.
I just felt like we need to even it out because Jimmy's still getting a lot of hate. Next week the Battlefield beta is open.
Totally,
so
and that's what I was like. I want to get
that.
them pumped for that because I think that's where we're going to have the most fun. Playing this and listening to this and just being. Doesn't matter if some of it's not ultra realistic, especially 2042. But my God, it's going to be fucking atmospheric, and that's what we all giggle about and scream about while we're playing these games. So yeah, that's what we're going back to.
Yeah, that's a shame. The snake is eating itself. Mac and Dagto. Marcus is a real Jimmy. I'm sorry that wasn't as good, but
that wasn't
something else that I hope you are excited about.
Something I'm excited about, and this is just a little throwback to what Pete was saying, is he was going back playing a bit of Halo, or you were, I should say. I have been too on my brand new old controller.
Oh my God, I saw you post a photo of this and I couldn't believe it.
So I'm so proud of you, man.
I love it.
On a post show, I mentioned that I kept going past not buying this. This is the Hyperkin, which is the company that made basically their version of
made a lot of fight sticks and stuff. And
it's the Duke. It's the controller from the original Xbox. I
so
remember loving
ugly.
this.
It's so
and
ugly.
I found out it was pretty much sold out everywhere. And the second I found that out, I was like, I must have it. So
she will be mine.
I went online and I spent double what it costs to get it.
Well done.
And
I'm heaps fucking jealous. I'm not going to lie.
It is, of course, cable only, which, I mean, that does suck. I plugged it into the console. I was like, oh, there's this cable stretch into the room.
Particularly in a week that, like, even Nintendo put out a Bluetooth version of the 64 controller.
Yes, totally. But, of course, anyone who does know, and Pete, I'll need full screen for this, the wonderful thing about it is that if for fans of the old one who remember what this used to look like, I can't get any. There we go. But if you do press the middle button, you of course
ring light going on. Yeah, that's
you
so
get
cool.
the boot up from the original Xbox. With this never did. That used to be a sticker. That was always a sticker. And
can I ask, because I've never held one, the white and black buttons, which became they became the bumper buttons on the 360.
Yes.
Are there bumper buttons on that?
Yes. So you still have your triggers, which are huge. The whole thing is fucking huge.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, this is it. I'm sorry, this is it in my hands. And I've got
wow. It's like a dinner plate.
It seriously is. These still work as bumpers. The thing now does have bumpers. Oh, this is terrible. I apologize, everyone.
Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah,
they're these tiny little press.
Look at that fucking dish.
Press-in buttons there that are shockingly
incredible.
Small. And then the white and black do still work as the buttons.
So how much did this cost you? How much?
That's not that. No, that's fine.
Come on.
So
how much?
I
want to know because I want one.
You have to go through
They
a
were
website.
They were $110 or something Australian
Yes, so
when
it
they
was double
launched.
that. And it was from...
Jesus
Worth it.
Christ.
Well, it was
Fucking
double
worth it.
because the
Look, I don't
shipping
want a
came from...
yucky yum.
It's
came
a
from,
collector's item. That's fine. It's
it
a
came
purchase.
from a random...
It's only a collector's item until the fucking hand scum gets in all the like
Well,
grooves
he's not
around
going to
it.
use it that much, right? Like, I feel like
found
it's
only,
more
like,
just for the
5
sake of
them.
having it.
I found them only like 5 of them on like, I think it was Play Asia. It's like a website that basically the website, once I bought a product off it, has sent me 20 emails and I'm trying to unsubscribe from all of them and I can't seem to.
Wait, so
You have to block it as spam.
Yes. So Steph brings up a good point. Are you using this as your go-to PC controller now?
So I plugged it in and I put in Master Chief Collection and I went back and played a heap of Halo 1 and 2's multiplayer just because that's how it would feel the most fun, and a bit of the campaign, and I fucking loved it. I love how this feels to play nostalgically. It is fucking terrible though to like actually play properly. And I don't like it in my living room plugged into my Xbox where everything is wireless, but
It's hideous.
But I have it in
They're
here.
so good.
I have it in here plugged into my PC, and I've been playing a couple of like just little retro indie games and things that just need a thumbstick and a button press. And in that sense, it's actually lovely. It's like it's nice to hold this.
Right. Okay.
huge,
Yeah. So you could play
thing.
like Spelunky or something. With
Totally.
it.
I was playing. I'm still playing Eastwood. I'm playing that with this at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you have?
nice.
Do you just
Is it
for reference,
heavy?
Do you have,
Is it heavy?
Do you have?
Not really. No, not heavy.
Do you have an Xbox One controller next to it?
Controller or a PS5 controller?
Oh, yeah,
or something
for scale. For
we
scale.
know?
Let's do this. Hang on. I got to get them next to each other properly.
Oh my god.
Well,
there's so much meat on that thing.
It's the gut that it's got like a belly down the bottom. That he's had.
I can't remember.
Pregnant with games.
It's pregnant, yeah.
It may have even been by the time that the Xbox launched in Australia, which was like a year after the US.
Yeah.
That the S controller existed, and I think it's probably a little bit of like folklore through the grapevine kind of stuff, but the idea was that they never play tested it out of anything other than like American male hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
God,
Yeah.
That is so something that would happen.
Yeah.
Which is such a, you can believe that happened, whether it did or not. The idea, and I am fortunate enough that I have broad enough hands that it actually felt I remember it feeling quite cool. And I remember when the S controller came out, it felt too small and felt a bit odd.
And and similar
it was
people,
only
I had
touched by
all my
people
friends who I was like I was like a first adopter of Xbox, so I got 2 of these with my Xbox, and all the friends who then got one months and months afterwards, everyone had the S controllers, and at the point when the console was current, these were kind of not rare, but they were just like uncommon in everyone's setup. So I had 2 of these, and friends would come around and be like, "The fuck is this?" I'm like, "Shut up and play FIFA."
Evil Spy Boy asks, "Is this segment just about bragging about hand size?" These mitts here. They were excellent in the slips. I don't have long fingers, but I have broad enough hands. The cricket ball just wouldn't leave me. The ball would not leave me.
You've got nice hands, Peter. He's got he's got nerdy hands.
I'm like Duchovny in Zoolander.
The hand model.
So I'll continue to leave this plugged into my PC where I can wrap it up and hide it and not show it to people who come around. And no one's coming around. And I will use it to play games that feel fun to play. Like if I play something arcadey and fun, it feels appropriately like I'm a kid again. With tiny hands.
Yeah, good. They should have made it like 30% bigger, so you did
just
feel like
to
a
fuck
child.
with you, to go.
Yeah.
Really?
Was it really this big?
OzCatBug in the chat said that Hyperkin have announced a new Cortana themed Duke controller. Or they said there's a new one coming out in December, and I think
the only one you can get, I think, was that weird like
this.
transparent green one that everyone was showing me on the chat last time, and I was the person who no, I need the original one. And if there is any version that isn't as like old school, if there's some weird, you're going to show me one with the paint job, and I'm going to be like, I'm glad I didn't buy it.
It's purple. It's purple. It's clear purple plastic, and it has Cortana on
but
the
this
side.
one's hot.
This one's hot.
Cortana, you
And
say?
this one's only $90 US.
and
That's
it's
kind
a
of what you're
bargain.
paying.
Plus the shipping and everything, it'll
Plus
go
the shipping,
up.
yeah.
No, the Play Asia one's in like euros, and it's 105.
There you go. So it was. I found it, got excited, bought it, got really sad. Turned up, got really excited. Played with it, got really sad. Now I'm showing you, really happy again. So it's been a roller coaster.
Good.
I love it, man.
Okay, good.
Well done. I'm so
Then
proud of you.
We will leave
I've
it
never
there.
been more proud of you.
That's nice.
I'm also going to get the wireless N64 controller as well. I shat on that on Twitter.
That
I'm
doesn't
totally getting
surprise me at all, and I think that's fine. But are you going to display them somewhere?
I think so. Once I get both of them, it's like that's shelf material. But I have to have this
Shelf
plugged in all
You're
the
gonna
time.
need to.
So
You're gonna need to. One whole shelf of your rotating bookcase is gonna just be devoted to that controller.
You pull on the Duke and the thing opens. Oh yes,
so good. Well, we'll leave it there with your happy feelings because this has been a very long what you've been playing because we've been playing a lot of very good games.
Games.
We've also got a very good ad break coming your way. If you're a fan of new commercials themed around people who watch this show,
we
apologize.
Yeah, then I would definitely watch this commercial break, and we'll be back right after this.
We're playing.
We built this city. We built this city too close to the beach coastal city. We built this city on erosion. I warned you when we zoned this. It was not the right place. You said you wanted coastal views. Now they're splashing your face. Neck deep in the water is where we sleep at night. Kitchens and aquarium. Oh God, that isn't right. I told you when we built it, this was just far too close. Don't you remember, Bryce? We wrecked this planet. Now we're gonna get eaten by the ocean. Oh God, I'm drowning. I never told you this, but I can't swim when I'm moving. The water is filling up both my lungs. Coastal city, you claimed another when will this ain't getting blurry. I'm sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Coastal city, it's a coastal city now.
Skateboard. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Shit, I don't know how I'm gonna get home now.
Welcome back to the show, and thank you to SpazRus and Lucashoratio for sending in the word from our sponsors, and thank you to Coastal City for your continued undying support. We appreciate it very, very much. That one has been a long time in the making. We've been talking about that for a while. And I should say a massive thank you to Lachlan Wallaker. I believe Wallaker is how I pronounce his last name, who did the arrangement on that. He's a pocketeer. I reached out to him and said, we want to make a song.
But we want to be DMCA safer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He auto-tuned us. He made us sound as good as we possibly could. He put together the arrangement there, and his with his business, which is Wallbreaker Records. So that is the Wallbreaker Records featured at the beginning of that. So thank you very much, Lachlan.
A couple of things as well. We had to put Scardy in front of a green screen. And that was an interesting day.
Have to do that, but people were like, we sent her clips. We've
In
also
order to
sent
get her in the
Scardy on
video,
green
which
screen.
she absolutely had to be in the video
Absolutely.
as the honorary back pocket team member. And also that was Pete playing the guitar in that whole sequence. It's
the solo.
The solo,
which is not much of a solo, but it
doesn't matter. It was cool.
it's
I
pretty
think it was
80s
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
I should say of all the instrumentation in it, when we did that, Will was like, well, you could shoot some bits doing some instruments and like just stand in front of a green screen and look like you want to play you're playing something. He sent clips of him in numerous outfits playing bass, ukulele, electric guitar, and when I listened to the audio, which was like off-camera mic audio, it's like he's playing it. Like he's playing the song in the background, and he was playing all the chords each bit on the freaking synth guitar, like keyboard and everything.
On his keyboard,
Amazing.
I don't know why we hired that Lachlan kid.
You were like, Will played on the guitar, and then I saw the footage. Just like he's just holding a keyboard up against his chest. That's amazing.
My favorite thing in that whole video is when you time that picture of Coastal to hit those two notes mirrored. Every time I see it, I giggle.
It was one of those ideas, I should say, like, cut you off, Nick. It's like, oh, that'll be a good idea. Nick wrote the lyrics. We were like, oh, this is fantastic. This will be so easy. We'll jump into studio. We'll all just sing. We're all in tune. We can all sing. And then that was a total pandemic video of like getting everyone's voices in parts, no one was in the same room for that. I know the amazing things we can do with computers these days. But that was why it took a while. So apologies for the delay.
Well, the actual thing with that is I was writing the Boxy commercial and I went, I should really start thinking about what Coastals is. And that popped into my head and I wrote the first 4 lines just underneath the Boxy commercial, just as like a joke. And I wrote it out. I was like, that's funny. And then you guys were looking at the script and Pete said something like, I read the beginning of the Coastal thing. Yeah, that's really funny. And I was like, yes, I wasn't planning on deleting that, and definitely finished that. It was totally just the like dumb idea that I needed to get out of my head so I could keep thinking about the other thing, and then it ended up sticking around and becoming a full-on music video.
It's going to sound great in the ARIA acceptance speech, Nick, when you tell that story.
Well, it was an accident.
And again, we've done as much as we possibly can to parody that song. You know, it's satire. It's satire, it's an excellent song, obviously, and also get away with not getting DMCA strikes by even karaoke versions. You know, they have
there's a few notes in there that have been changed. Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, it's an arrangement by Lachlan. He did such an awesome job, and it was cool to be able to reach out to the community and find, it's such a talented community to be able to help us with that kind of stuff as well. So
but we don't want to get sued, and we know they're watching as well. They're up in their Starship. Yeah.
Airship, like they're in a blimp.
I was like, does he mean Twitch? Yeah. Good. Bezos is just up in space looking down, going, hang on a second.
I think
against all the contracts we've just signed this week that make it much easier for music publishers to sue streamers. All right, let's jump into the next segment with a little Pete's Party Time.
Pete's Party, yeah. It's Pete's Party Time.
Pete's Party Time.
Party.
Been a while.
It has been a while since we've done a Pete's Party Time.
I'm
very excited for this. Peter, the floor is yours. What game are we playing this week?
We're going back to a classic. We dipped back in a little bit with Will on his birthday, and we're going back to the newly renovated title sequence of a game we love to call it Photal Recall. Just delicious. For those who haven't seen Photal Recall before.
Presented by Jepp, by the way. It's a Jepp thing.
Presented by Jepp.
I hear he bought a Jepp.
He bought a Jepp.
Nah, it's a Jepp.
Is that a Jepp? He bought a Jepp. Jepp, the legend, brings us Photo Recall. And for those who haven't seen Photo Recall before, Nick, Gus, and Steph are going to draw iconic video game characters entirely from memory. They've got pen and paper in front of them. So each round, they'll be given 2 minutes to draw. And at the end of the round, I will gaze upon their works and declare a victor.
And weep.
You don't look at art, do you? You gaze.
Yeah.
You can't just look at art.
You're
absorb
transfixed
it.
by it sometimes,
Yeah.
I would say.
I was definitely transfixed by Dick in a do-rag from last round.
That sounds like it needs a price tag on the bottom of it. I'm here to purchase Dick in a do-rag.
Dick in a do-rag.
So
That should be the name of a cocktail.
it absolutely should be. It absolutely
oh my god,
should be.
I called
Now-
this up a really lackluster cocktail.
So,
Dick to do-rags, thanks.
It's featured in the Natural Harvest cookbook right at the
man.
end.
this is one of the few games that we played for a prize. I don't know if you remember, there was a prize last time we played this.
What was the prize?
So the person with the most round wins at the end of the game wins the grand prize, which is compliments from the other contestants.
I need those.
Right. That's
Yes.
right.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, Pete said something nice about my clothes, and Gus struggled to say anything.
I couldn't look past your bed hair.
Now, let's get started. Hang on, let me close my door because I just screamed and heard myself through Steph's mic.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I assume then this applies for this one as well. The compliment prize is still active.
Is it the
Yeah.
winner of each round
Yeah.
gets a compliment, or
No,
at
the winner at the end,
Yeah,
the
okay,
others
yeah.
compliment that
Yeah,
person. Okay, round one.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys ready? You got pen and paper ready?
and we need to.
Oh, and can I get you? Yeah, because we're doing it from home. I'll get you guys to minimize your program feed so you can't see.
All done.
Because I'll show the audience these iconic video game characters just to give them a refresher as well.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
But the first. So have you done that? Can I get confirmation?
All
Yes.
good.
The
Hidden.
the first character that I want you to draw from memory is one from very recent memory, and it is Clank of Ratchet and Clank. So your time starts now. Let me tell you a little about Clank. Clank, real designation XJ0461, serial number B5429671, is the titular deuteragonist and secondary main playable character of the Ratchet & Clank series. He is a robot created by Zoni, possessing a Zoni soul, a result, and is Ratchet's best friend. Isn't that sweet? Clank was created by Orvis, the leader of the Zoni, in the Great Clock. He was produced in a Blag, robot factory of Quataru, that created sentry bots. These words all make sense. But upon acquiring an infobot and learning about Chairman Drek's plans, he fled the planet in a stolen starship, we all remember, crash landing on Velden. There he met Ratchet, who became his lifelong best friend afterwards, and they would partake on many adventures. So there you go. You guys all now remember what Clank looks like. Gus, you seem to be saying fuck a lot. How are you going?
Not great. I drew a version of him and Kit, I think, who was the sort of.
You're not getting extra points for Kit.
I can't draw
finished.
either. Don't worry.
Steph's finished.
Fuck.
Nick, how are you going, mate?
I think I've drawn ET.
That's close. Yep.
Just imagine it's metal. It's metal.
Okay.
He's basically metal ET.
I can imagine that.
Is it the eye? I think it's the eyes on the robot.
You got 20 seconds, guys.
Okay. Do we get bonus points for anything? Like, I feel like. Oh no.
No. I just pick a winner.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool.
That's time, everyone.
Okay.
That's time. Gus, pen down,
It
please.
is. It's down. We can bring up our window again.
Sorry?
Can we bring up our window
Yes,
again?
you absolutely can. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, you can bring up your window.
Okay.
So you guys are just drawing Clank. And just a refresher, Clank, real designation XJ0461, serial number B5429671. If you've written that on Clank, you get bonus points for sure.
You said no bonus points.
Let's go around the room. Let's start with Steph because she was so confident.
Yeah.
Steph, I would like to see your Clank, please.
Hey, come on, keep it PG.
Oh dear, and the beard.
That's his mouth. I can't remember what his mouth looks like. Oh,
His
yeah.
mouth looked like that.
That's right. He looks
He
like a
does
fucking
have
Canadian in South
face-forwarding
Park.
fucking eyes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Zeph.
Okay.
Very cute.
So that's not bad. Not bad.
That's good.
Nick, let's see yours.
Let's see yours, Nick.
Come on,
I
mate.
want you to just imagine.
Hesitation.
Just imagine it's metal.
Okay.
A little further back.
And
Put it on
to your
face.
left. To your left. Yeah.
You go further back, your
imagine it's metal.
autofocus thing's trying to blur it.
I mean, that's spot on. That's spot on.
He's got some hectic
He's got
shoulders.
it. It's because it's got the NVIDIA. Yeah. There we go.
There we go. And he's. I see.
Nice.
You've got an. I appreciate that you've
Clank
got an.
here, so you know.
Yeah, that helps.
I knew you got the doodle dob on his head.
Sorry.
Yep.
He's got fingers. Well, I guess he kind of does actually.
I thought he did have fingers. He's also got shoelaces, apparently.
He's absolutely got fingers.
He actually
Gus,
does.
let's see yours.
Sure.
Let's see yours.
So
I want to see. Yep.
So
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
Wait, did you put
and
it
on the back of
inside
just to your left
Ratchet?
a little bit. Yep.
Oh,
Nice.
that's your
Actually-
fucking bonus points play.
Yeah. You got that. You drew Darren's body.
I did. I totally
Oh my
did.
God, that's totally
Darren.
Darren.
I did
You drew
Darren's
Darren.
body because I drew
That's
a lot
amazing.
of Darren.
We're not
But
going
I-
to get sued for the song. We're going to get sued for that drawing.
Yeah, the ABC
true.
will come for
It's
us. They
true.
need the money.
But check out the pose. He's doing the exact arm raise, which was a total cosmic fluke.
Sorry to hide you here, Nick and Steph.
Look at
That's
that.
the ugly.
He's
that's
raising
the
the
only
exact
one.
same
That's good.
hand.
It's good.
It's good.
It's very
It's
good.
good. That's good.
Can I see them all on screen again? Can you just pop them up for me, just so I can make a final decision on this one? Steph's beard, Nick's. That's good. Let's get. Gus gets the win for the pose, I think.
Also, we need some.
Nailed the pose.
Also, didn't
the
we do
most
fan
complete.
votes in this? I think.
Oh, no.
We
do
did.
fan
No, we
votes?
did. So what we did. Remember, I think you'll remember that this is the one where I told the chat to shut the fuck up consistently throughout the segment. And then at
Yes.
the end, we had a Nightbot roll to see who would win the drawings, and I shipped.
That's
those.
right.
I
Oh my
shipped those
god,
drawings
we
off to
did.
people.
Someone
Yeah.
got dick in a do-rag.
But there was, I think, at the end there was also a fan vote for the total because I think that
could have been.
Yeah.
It could
Okay,
have
interesting.
been.
That's
It
good.
very
That's
well
good. That's good. Look, I'm not saying that I should have won that because this is clearly some baby gone horribly wrong.
Okay, round 2. Who's ready? Everyone ready?
I'm ready. I'm all warmed up.
Hide your browsers. Hide your
Yep,
browsers.
sorted.
Get a
Right.
fresh page.
Yep, done.
Is that contest running again, Pete? Yeah, maybe.
No one wants these.
People want them. People want them. That's good art.
Baldo
That's
still
good
has
art.
my pictures.
There you
Art's
go.
not cheap. Art's not
Plus
cheap, and if you can get it for
Catbug,
free.
I got the dick in a do-rag.
Okay, we will do it. If Ben or any of the mods are standing by, we might do some Nightbots, and we'll do Nightbot Nick, Nightbot Gus, Nightbot Steph. We'll do to enter as a roll, and we'll just do a random roll. But we'll do that at the end of the segment, and we're probably 20 minutes away from that.
Boulder of Light, I have the Spyro one framed in my room. I love it.
Wow.
Oh,
Amazing.
Boulder, I don't know which collection Boulder won, but I assume it
I think he
wasn't
got
Nick's.
Gus's.
Yeah, okay,
Boulder
good.
got
Yeah,
Gus's.
yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, here's round 2. Round 2 is of Street Fighter. Chun-Li.
Oh, shit.
What?
3, 2, 1. Here we go. Okay. Now, Chun-Li is the triagonist, and we're building up here. The triagonist and main female protagonist of the Street Fighter series, originally debuting in Street Fighter 2. Oh, sorry, that was Gus. You want me. At the age of 5, Chun-Li saw her first classical Chinese play, Peking Opera, and her first Bruce Lee movie, which fascinated her, and also became part of the reasons why she started practicing martial arts. She began by learning Tai Chi. However, Tai Chi was much different from the gorgeous movements she remembered from Peking Opera. Soon afterwards, her father taught her Hong Quan, as well as various basic exercises from then on. With that, Chun-Li's skills in martial arts, Chun-Li's skills in Chinese martial arts improved rapidly. Chun-Li used mostly kicks when fighting. This was something she picked up from her father, who is also said to have, and I quote, legendary legs.
Oh.
legendary legs. And now that should be a really strong cue for you guys who are playing at home. Nick, how are you going with those legendary legs?
How much time do I have?
You've got 43 seconds to draw some legendary legs, mate.
Okay.
You're on the legendary legs now? Steph, did you start with the legendary legs or did you move to those now?
No, I have a much smaller pad this time, so I've actually I'm having to bend her legs in very odd directions to fit them on the page. But she is a
That's true to
martial
the
artist,
character.
so
That's true to the character. That's true to the character. And Gus, you've got 20 seconds left, mate. Can you please tell me how legendary the legs are?
I think I've channeled some pubescent boy who played a lot of this game and for some reason has photo recall memory of
You're a bit horny. A bit horny. We got 3 seconds. Here we go. That's it, everyone. Horny Gus may have won another round. Gus, as you are the horniest here, can we see yours first,
Do I
please?
sign it? No, don't sign it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Sure.
I wouldn't. You don't want your name attached to that.
I mean, that's pretty good. And here's
Right.
Chun-Li.
That's great.
So I'm doing her pose.
That's insane that you got that close.
I know. I was
incredible.
like, boots? Yeah. Things around her wrists? Yeah. Like the things in her hair with the streamers out of them? Yeah. Puffy shoulder pieces?
Puffy shoulders?
It all came back. It all came back. There you go.
I'll tell you what came.
I don't think it ever went away, Gus.
I don't
to be
think it
honest.
ever went away
drawing.
at all.
Nick's drawing.
Yeah. So you're definitely on mine now.
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay, so I thought that Chun-Li had
Was
pigtails.
Blanca. You thought it was Blanca.
I thought she had pigtails. So this is mine. I focus mainly on the pigtails.
That's only pigtails.
Yeah, but I spent a lot of time.
oh
on
my
the
god.
pigtails. And
Who
then
is she fighting?
So who's the guy with the blonde spiky hair?
That's Guile.
Kyle.
Yeah, so she just kicked Guile's fucking leg off and kicked him across the room.
Okay, that's dynamic. That's dynamic. I like that.
Because I love how Nick shows them like a kid explaining it a thing. So she kicked him, and she kicked him so hard his leg came off, and that's why he's up here.
Yeah, it's like a
Vexia,
child story.
I
It's like
did
a
actually.
child story.
I drew Cammy. I drew
Cammy was
Yeah.
your prepubescent boy channeling memory.
Yeah.
And Steph.
So I actually also played a lot of Super Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo when I would have sleepovers at my friend's house. I did always play Cammy, but I remember Chun-Li super well with her super kick and
Spinning
this is
bird
my
kick.
Cammy.
Holy shit.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Holy
hell.
shit, that's awesome.
That's
You did better than Gus, and Gus had an
incredible.
erection the whole time, which gave him an advantage. You would think
my
that would
God.
be the advantage.
All the blood ran out of my hands.
True.
Yeah. Yeah,
right,
and then
let's see
I just was frustrated because I liked playing Cammy and I could never do the cannon drill.
That's
It's very difficult to do.
Wait, Cammy, you say?
Hammy.
Yeah.
You
Cannon
may have
drill.
convinced me here, Steph. Steph, can we see yours as well, please?
I played so
Yeah.
old school Street Fighter that she used to
I'm
jump.
gonna go with Steph on this round.
Hell yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
drew
go with Steph on
two
this round.
characters, Peter.
I know you drew two characters. Two of the characters that I never asked for.
Yeah, that's true.
Chun-Li used to, when she'd win on the original Super Nintendo, would go like, ha ha ha, get and it would just be one of those like compressed Super Nintendo
Yeah,
noises.
the-
You're like, no,
It's like
no.
we need at least like 32 bits for this.
Yeah.
All right. Who's ready for round 3? Everyone,
Nick
can you
is.
please?
It's time for Nick
can
to
you
come
please-
out of.
Can you minimize your? And you know that because I play this game as I want it to be interesting at the end. Nick wins this round no matter what happens.
Okay.
But let's go with round 3, which is Ezio Auditore da Frenze, and your time starts now.
Shit.
Now, Ezio Auditore da Firenze, 1459 to 1524, may he rest in peace, was a Florentine nobleman during the Renaissance and, unbeknownst to most historians and philosophers, a master assassin. And the mentor of the Italian Brotherhood of Assassins, a title which he held from 1503 to 1513. Ezio was outgoing and had many friends, although he was initially shy and awkward around girls. Like his father. I copy all these from like fandom wikis. They're fucking funny. Like his father, Ezio possessed almost superhuman acrobatic abilities, being able to climb skyscrapers, which didn't really exist in 1524, move swiftly across rooftops, and perform death-defying feats with relative ease. Ezio had retired and resided in a Tuscan villa with his wife, Sofia Sartor, and his two children, Flavia and Marcello. Ezio died of a heart attack at the age of... Way to ruin the...
He died of a heart attack?
Ezio died of a heart attack at the age of 65 during a vigorous sexual act with Sofia Sartor.
Is that for real?
Sorry, no, I misread that. During a visit to Florence.
Okay.
That's what he called it.
He called his wife Florence, even though her name was Sophia. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you the character reference pic, please. So I keep going too, it's not that. And here is Ezio Auditore da Firenze, which we're all very familiar with. Probably the most famous assassin, definitely the most iconic of the assassin looks of the Assassin's Creed games. Now, guys, you have 14 seconds left.
Oh, this is so hard.
I was talking about sex a bit, so we've run out of time, but you've got 8 seconds left.
This is so bad.
You're feeling all right?
No.
You're feeling all right? Oh, that's so funny.
I need more time and a smaller pen.
That's your time, though. That's your time. Everyone pens down, please. You can bring up your browsers again.
I'd like another Street Fighter character, please.
Yeah.
You can bring up your browsers. I knew that this was the hardest one. This was the hardest one. I put it in the middle because I wanted detail. And I knew that I was only going to get detail from Nick. And I knew he wasn't going to win the first 2 rounds. So let's start with Steph, shall we? Steph, can we please see? And you love Assassin's Creed.
I do.
So if this isn't great, if this isn't perfect, it's going to
really
be
bad. It doesn't even
really
look
an
like,
indictment on
it
you
doesn't
as a
really
human
look
being.
like anything.
And as a fan.
Oh,
as a
God.
fan, as a human. Can we please see your Ezio Auditore da Firenze?
Oh,
It's in the pose.
You got the
It's pretty
pose
fucking
well.
good.
You got the pose down. That's awesome.
Great.
And look at that
Steph,
jaw.
That's really good.
Look at that wonky jaw.
I would kiss that boy.
Look at that Italian jawline.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you're sad, but you've done a very good
That is a
job.
very good job.
Really good.
Gus, I would love to see whatever you made.
Looks like a dog.
It looks like a dog.
I went for the...
Wait, it doesn't look like a dog.
Look at the face. It could be a dog. Woof.
Well,
Maybe
when
a
you
little
bark, of course.
Yeah.
Now that's all I see.
I'm pretty sure that's racist as well. All right, Gus, let's see yours.
I went for the action pose and it went wrong from the very beginning. I went for him leaping off into a hay bale off a church.
Oh, good.
But I spent more time on the
He's
hay
so
bale.
flat. He's so flat. The hay bale is perfect.
The hay
Holy
bale
shit.
was great, but he's like super.
I thought you were showing me a video of a hay bale at first, and then I saw a pancake falling into it.
He's basically belly flopping into it, and he looks like a deflated ghost.
I would never critique someone else's art, but like he's taken what looks to be 40 to 60 meter horizontal leap away from the church before landing in the hay.
No, Nick, what you're forgetting, as I said,
It's a tilt shift lens. It's a tilt shift lens.
he weighs nothing, so he's just been doing this on his way down the whole way.
Like a falling leaf.
Yeah.
Like a falling
that's
leaf
pretty-
on the breeze.
Oh, yeah, that was
That's pretty
rough.
good. And can we see our winning picture, please, from Nick?
A reminder, what country is Ezio from again?
He's Italian.
That's right, motherfuckers!
Oh my God, he's a dabbing Italian playing football. Why has he got a halo?
So no, that's one of those big Italian hats. The artists used to wear the big Italian.
Sorry, I
like
was
a
ready to
beret, but
Big Italian.
and he's going, and shut up, and he's going, shh, because he's an assassin.
And is he also giving a pen?
I thought it's dabbing.
No, he's blowing a whistle and he's pointing. He's saying they get a
He's
free
giving
kick.
a corner. He's giving a corner.
And also, that's the German flag.
No, it's because the camera's flipped. It's definitely the Italian flag.
Okay.
It's the German
This
flag,
is-
and he's got his finger under his nose for some reason. He's put, look, forget it. It's a different thing.
You need one of those biros that has green, red, and
I've got green, white, and that is supposed to be red, but it's actually hot pink, and it looks orange.
That is green.
Orange
that
under.
Is green.
It is. No, it is green. It's green. This is green. This
Oh,
is just like
it's because of your. It's the light. It's the light.
He's doing your
Twin
purple
cell
trick.
sauce
He's
all
doing your
over
purple
again.
trick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Beautiful work. Nick, congratulations. We're tied
very
at
much.
3.
Thank you very
We're tied at 3 apiece. There's only 2 more rounds to go. So,
God.
so there may be compliments going everywhere by the end of this. And is everyone ready for round 4? If you
Minimizing.
are ready for round 4. Oh, damn. This
Another round?
There's 2 more.
There's 2 more. There's 2
Oh my
more.
gosh.
I didn't tech check all of these cards apparently
Oh.
because this card is sitting a little bit off screen, but that's fine. Let's go for it anyway. It is Samus Aran.
Oh no.
Samus Aran. And we're starting now. Of course, Samus Aran is an intergalactic bounty hunter and the main protagonist of the Metroid series. Let's have a little look at Samus Aran. Her first appearance was in the original Metroid, released in 1986. Her birth planet is K2L, an Earth colony. Samus Aran is a bounty hunter of prestige fame, often employed by the Galactic Federation. Sometime after the space pirates had established a power base on Zebas, the Galactic Federation...
Really, Peter?
The Galactic Federation had hired Samus Aran to destroy Mother Brain, and the Metroids the pirates were amassing. After defeating Ridley and Kraid, Samus gains access to Turian. There she defeated the Metroids and Mother Brain, which activated a self-destruct sequence. She managed to escape from Turian, but was attacked by the pirates in orbit around Zebes, and her gunship was shut down. This left her without the protection of her power suit, with only her emergency pistol for defense, with no other choice but to infiltrate Pirate's mothership. Boom. So mysterious. So now we know what Samus Aran looks like. And everyone remembers what Samus Aran looks like, right? And I'll accept in power suit and out of power suit.
I was wondering if you
Uh,
could accept there's another form that she takes.
But bonus points for really depicting the power base on Zippers. I would love to see that illustrated. The cannon is on the wrong arm. Maybe the image was flipped. We can blame Will for that, but he's going to bet. 16, 15 seconds, 14 seconds. You got heaps of time. 13 seconds, 12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10 seconds. How's everyone feeling? Nick, you screamed
good.
time check.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Nice. Lovely. There's your time, everyone. Pens down, please. Stephanie. Stephanie! Don't make me come in there. Put your pen down. Okay. Lovely work.
I would like to go last.
That's as the winner of the last round, I will allow it.
Thank you very much.
You've earned that right
Thank you.
with the art that you've made tonight. Gus, let's start with you then, shall we?
Sure thing.
Let's see.
Another
Gus.
Super Nintendo
Sorry.
game, which I'm confident about.
Yep.
Here is.
Oh, that's really good.
There she is.
Wow.
Power arm.
And you drew Zebas.
There's Zebas. There's all Zebas. Can't forget about Zebas.
That's the power station on Zebas.
Always
I
holding
thought
that
you were-
arm cannon up.
Oh
I
my
thought you were
goodness.
absolutely going to go for ball form.
For ball form? Yeah, I was like, someone's
Yeah.
going to do a ball, right?
You spelled it wrong, but that's okay because you spell everything wrong. And so in theory, you spelled it right.
Yeah, it
You
is.
just spelled it the Gus way.
I did.
Stephanie, let's see your Samus Aran.
Oh, damn!
Oh, you got 0 suits, Samus.
I've done her in the way
Little
that
to your
I
left,
see
Steph.
all.
Little to your left.
Oh, sorry. I've done her in the way that I see all female heroes depicted, and it's looking over their shoulder
ass.
with their butt in full view. And I don't know a lot about Metroid, but I've seen a lot of girls cosplaying in this skin suit.
Oh my god, you fucking nailed it. Oh my god.
Both of those are very good.
That's a
Yeah.
sexy dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a sexy dog. Nick, let's see some Zebas.
I want the story
Yeah.
behind Zebas.
Samus sucks, so I drew the true successor, Hollow Knight.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I can see that's a great Hollow Knight. That's a really
Thank
good
you very
Hollow
much. Spiritually, this is what Samus is now.
Yep.
And this is what Metroid Dread needs to beat to be considered anything close to a good video game.
Interesting.
Nice.
You want everything
Did you
called a
did you
Hollow
Google
Knight.
a picture of Hollow Knight to
No.
reference, or you do?
He played a lot
You
of
just
that
know
game.
Hollow Knight that
Dome.
well.
That's from the Dome.
I fucking appreciate
I
that.
started with pigtails, but then I went, no, that's
I appreciate that.
Nick, you want all future Metroidvanias to be called Hollow
Let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion about this. But what I want to do right now is, because I am actually torn between Steph and Gus's drawing, so I would
so
like
good.
chat to vote on those two. Can we see those two again, please? Here's Steph, which is perfect Zero Suit Samus, and Gus is perfect Suit Samus. So I would love to see a vote between the two of them.
A vote for Steph's drawing is a vote for butts everywhere.
Yeah,
A vote for
how
Gus
do you
is a
beat
vote
that,
for
Gus?
Zebus.
The current poll is question mark.
Vote for Zebus.
Don't blame me. I voted for Zebus.
In the meantime, we should talk about, because we've got probably another like 25 seconds while this
Forcing
poll is
that
running.
button the camera. Look at it.
Steph,
Look at it.
get your butt out of frame, mate. The new Metro game is out, and there's Hollow Knight. The new Metro game is out next week.
Next
Is it
week?
Next week.
Next Friday.
How cool is that? I have never played a Metro game, so I'm not particularly attached to them. But I would love for this to surprise the hell out of me and to be a really exciting game.
You're too grumpy. You'll hate it.
I just think my concern is that it will not be as good as a Hollow Knight. Is that the games that have followed it have outshone what, it's called Metroidvania, the style of game,
That's
for
right.
a reason.
I'm an artist, and I speak the truth.
Yeah.
And
What
that
is
is
this
exactly
poll?
that is it is in the same way that
The
Halo
poll is almost done.
does not stand up against the shooters of today,
Oh,
and therefore
the butts
Halo
have it.
Infinite needed to be something else. The butts have it, 59%.
The butts have it. Steph won. 116 votes to 80 votes.
That's a good
Good.
one.
That was good. It was a nice poll. Thanks for everyone who voted in the poll.
Using sex appeal to win the vote, that's pushing everyone forward.
I can do that because I'm a feminist.
It's true.
That's true. Steph, if you would like to show your own butt to screen right now, that would really sell your point.
TOS.
Get us banned.
TOS.
Nick, the true feminist.
The true Hollow Knight.
All right,
Feminist.
we do have one more round.
Quick, Nick, draw Hitler again.
This one also
Draw Italian Hitler.
this one slips a little off screen. So Steph's on 2 wins, and the gents are on a win each. This could even it up, and I don't have a tiebreaker, so you will have to compliment both. But we do have one final round. Right. Are you guys ready for your final round? Can you please hide your browsers?
Done.
The final round is, and this is an idea.
Oh God.
This is Bowser's hot tub stream. Your time starts now. It's Bowser's hot tub stream. Okay, let me tell you a little about King Bowser. King Bowser Koopa, in literature, Great Demon King Koopa. In English, also Lord Bowser, King Koopa, commonly known in other media, that was all in parentheses, I don't know if you needed to know that, is the primary antagonist of Nintendo's Mario franchise and is the arch enemy of Mario. Poor Mario. Bowser most commonly kidnaps Princess Peach because he wants to marry her. And that's how Steph and I met. And makes her his fair and beloved queen. He is the leader of the Koopa race. Although Bowser has joined forces with Mario in a few games, he has never ceased to kidnap Princess Peach. He's never ceased to kidnap Princess Peach and attempt to conquer the Mushroom Kingdom since his first appearance in Super Mario Bros. As the central villain of one of the world's most popular video game franchises, Bowser is easily one of the most recognizable. This is a dig at you all if you don't get it right. Easily one of the most recognizable video game villains ever, though he has comic relief roles in most RPGs. Though their origins are unknown, Bowser has a son called Bowser Jr., and maybe he was born of a hot tub-born, misdirected Bowser cum shot. You have 34 seconds. You have 34 seconds.
Oh my god, there's too much.
Oh God.
I will accept a drawing of Jack Black.
That's what I'm telling.
Gus, you closed your eyes really hard just now. Can you tell me how you feeling?
Tried to imagine.
You got 10 seconds.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I want you to imagine. 3, 2, 1. There's your time. So it's Bowser's hot tub stream, everyone. How do we feel we went? Pens down, please. What the fuck? I'm seeing drawings still.
No. I need to do one more thing.
Put your pens down.
I need to do one more thing.
This is a betrayal
The three of us can beat Peter. Come on, guys.
of the rules of the game. You can't draw for another hour. Steph, put your pen down. You did a good
He
job.
gets
Put
more
your
than
pen
I
down.
get more.
Okay, I am done. I'm done.
Nick's done. Everyone's done. I want to see hands. I want to see hands to cameras, please.
Look
Thank
at the
you
size
very
of
much.
these hands. My God.
Oh my gosh.
So broad. Nicholas,
Yeah.
you could hold a duke with those bad boys. How do we feel we drew Bowser's hot tub?
I think it's one of the best one
Yeah,
that
me
I've done all
too.
night.
Pretty good.
Okay. Oh, everyone's fucking pumped.
So much detail.
Okay.
Steph Gusnick. Steph Gusnick.
Yeah, let's go Steph Gusnick because Steph is actually winning the competition at the moment. Steph, can we please see your Bowser hot tub stream?
No
I
reference
didn't show the reference pic because I want to
Probably
reveal
good.
it now. And this was Will. This came from the imagination of Will, who of course is a dirty perv. This is Bowser's hot tub stream
Oh
as
my
imagined
God.
by Will. Stephanie, can we please see Bowser's hot tub stream as imagined
Wait, what's he?
by
Is he
That's
you?
amazing.
teabagging the hot tub?
I don't know that he's teabagging it, but there's
think he's just
definitely
showing
a
his butt like
unicorn
a-
No,
inflatable up his ass.
he's doing hot girl pose.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Hot
he is
girl
too.
action
It's Hot Girl
pose.
Summer
Yeah.
pose. Yeah.
Yep.
I have drawn Bowser in the classic Geralt in the bathtub
Nice.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Holy
That's
shit.
amazing.
with his legs out, just waiting to
legs
spread him.
displayed.
Fuck, that's so good.
Is this how you imagine
So
things?
good.
Is this how you
That's
imagine
so
things?
Good.
Well done, Stephanie.
That's so good.
Gus, how are you feeling now having to follow up the is this how you imagine
I feel like
things, Gus?
Steph's definitely more accurate in terms of what he looks like. I've gone for a little bit more going on in
I couldn't remember what his hair was, and then I remembered he has like a orange kind of
wispy orange
mohawky
hair.
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
So-
there. The hair was hard. The face was hard.
Mine's
Yeah.
a bit obviously very sketchy.
Gussie. Let's see
What we're
yours.
looking
Let's
at
see your
here
sketch.
is Bowser.
You've done the same perspective though.
Bowser is sitting in the hot tub. There's
Oh, he's got bitches.
there's Peach
got
and
booze.
there's Rosalina.
I'm sorry, Stephanie. He's got what?
He's got
women
bitches.
friends.
I can say that because I'm a feminist.
She's a
Oh my
feminist.
God.
It's fine.
Okay.
To continue, there's his kidnappees, and then little Mario, who's just missed out, hang on, I had the right side down here as well. Who's a bit sad, hanging onto his towel.
Is he spewing?
No, that's just the water that
No,
splashed
it's
out.
just water.
Okay.
He turned up too late.
Did you say that was Mario?
Yeah, I wanted to do
Is he
something.
naked?
He's got
He's
little
topless.
speedos and he's holding a towel. And I wanted
Oh,
to
yeah, okay.
caption it with like, "Sorry, Mario, your Peach is in another hot." I couldn't think of anything in time, but that's
you-
like,
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'll
good,
tell you
good.
what. I'll tell you what. You would have been. That's very good, and you would have been a surefire victory if you had put a pigeon peeking out of that towel,
damn it.
or a bird of any kind. But
Yep.
it's very good, Nick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm horrified as to what we're going to see.
No, mine's great. So I too had a bit of difficulty with Bowser's hair
Yeah.
and face and body and kind of everything about Bowser. So this is a picture of Jack Black giving Chris Pratt a handy in a hot tub. It's called the Peach Stream, and he's doing it for a shower of bits. And he's 70% of the way to his goal of $310 to buy a new
Of getting
He's
a
going
train
to
ticket
Newcastle.
to Newcastle.
He's buying Newcastle.
That's good. That's good. It's appropriate. That's good.
Shit.
Oh, Nick,
Yeah.
can I say that commend you on not only the chaos that is the Jack Black face, which actually I can hear Jack Black's voice when I look at that face, but also like the 3 circles that can show the elation of a stick figure hand job.
Yeah.
Oh, that is his-
and don't forget
Yeah.
the little tear by the side of the face here.
What's the
of
tear
like,
there for?
Oh, like anime tear of just like such intense
not a prison
feelings.
tat that I killed someone in my
Yeah.
last hot tub stream. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Very
Oh
good.
man, I think. Fuck, this is tough. You're all so talented.
All up again. Sorry. All up again.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
all
I'll
so
up
talented. Everyone, hold yours up again, please. I got to see them all. I got to see them all.
Steph's hands. They're like, "Hey, welcome to the hot tub."
All right, this is the decision I'm making, and I'll justify it as well.
And also, before you do this, just so we
Yep.
can do this while the time's happening, can we get a community vote for best overall? So it's best overall for the night.
Best overall art. Let's get a community vote for best overall art, and then we'll do the. Should we do the giveaways of the art?
Yeah, we should, and then we'll go through the art as well before.
We'll do Nightbot. We'll
These
do
are all
Nightbot
going
commands.
on a Redbubble shirt.
We'll give it a moment. Okay,
Pete,
I'm going to.
Bullshit.
I'm going to give the nod to Gus.
Aw.
I think you've done a wonderful job all night. I think you've depicted the Bowser Hot Tub stream very well. Everyone who would be at a Bowser Hot Tub stream is there.
I think
made an event.
Samus in the power suit is the true.
I feel like this
win.
this needs the New York Times caption. Sorry, Bowser, your bits were in another.
Sorry, Mario. The only peach you'll find here is mine.
My ass.
Or Steph puts it, the bitches.
Good.
Oh,
Now,
thank you very much.
that means that Gus and Steph are tied victors.
Which means,
and so-
do we get applause, Peter?
You don't get applause. Oh, I mean, you can have a little bit of applause. One sec.
Could we get forced applause? Forced applause.
There's your forced applause. That'll do. But what you do get is something even more valuable. And because Nick is the only loser, Nick will give compliments to the two victors, the equal victors.
Oh, good.
Nick, you choose who you want to start with. This is all you.
I want to start with Steph, who one of my favorite things about you is how you can take me completely off guard with your imagination. That you will be 70% of the time what I expect from you, and then 30% of the time you'll open your mouth or uncap your pen and something will happen that will truly take me off guard. And I love the surprises as a person that you can provide the people around you. You are way funnier than you think you are, and fuck me, it takes everyone by surprise when you pull it out.
That's one of the, and this is why I'd let Nick lose as well, because he's actually the
Most
best
eloquent.
at giving compliments.
We get the compliment.
Yes.
He gets the compliment
Before-
of being the best at giving compliments.
Before we move on to Gus's compliments, Steph, can you please show your art again? And can we get a !Steph entry into a Nightbot poll to win Steph's art for a random roll? I didn't clearly ask for that, but I feel like I generally ask for that. Yep, Liz has already put it in emote only. She's killing it. Liz is on top of everything as usual. What a hero. Steph, let's see your art again. And you've got Chun-Li, you've got Zero Suit Samus's tight cheeks, you've got a bearded Clank, you've got Ezio in his finest pose, and you've got, is this how you imagine things?
The Bowser is spectacular.
Bowser. And he's having a good old time in the bath. Look at the suds. Look at those suds.
Scrub-a-dub-dub, one Cooper, Bowser in a tub.
So I think everyone has Steph who, well, I mean, actually, there's a lot of Steph still getting spammed in the chat. But I reckon we call it in 3, 2, 1. Let's wrap it up there. Thank you for everyone who entered for the chance to win.
Can I also say as well that I've done all these drawings in the back of my to-do list pad, so you can, it does, the art does double as a to-do list.
I thought you were going to say everyone gets the list
that's
of
good.
things you need to do.
Perfect. Multifish won the giveaway.
Oh, Multifish!
Congratulations, Multifish. Multifish, as always, winning shit that they don't deserve. And just for some context, Multifish does a raid once and gets the exotic. That's the trend with Multifish.
What a prick.
What a piece of shit. But very well done, Multifish. We love you. Well done. We'll get that sent out to you and we'll DM you. So Multifish won that. Nick, should we hear Gus's compliment while we set up the !Gus for Gus's art?
I'm going to MJ that gif of MJ with popcorn while Nick does this, though.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I am always blown away by the art that you create, and it's such a talent. But I constantly have to remind myself that I shouldn't be surprised by this, because the care you put into your art is the same care that you put into every aspect of your life. You are a perfectionist in the best sense of the word, and you are by far one of the most competent people that I've ever met. You can do so many things so well that it makes me jealous inside, but I try to channel that jealousy into being so excited for the fact that you're a man with so many talents.
Aw.
That's lovely.
I don't
This
need
should-
this now.
This should just be a segment on the show. Where we just
be nice
all say
Thank you,
nice
Nick.
things
That's
about each other.
incredibly lovely.
I
That
like
means
it.
a lot to
I like
hear.
it.
Thank you so much.
I mean it.
No, I know.
so-
That's wow.
Show us your art.
Yeah, let's go through the art, and we'll shut down the entries in a little while, but in just a sec. But Gus, we've got your clank, lovely.
Link on the back of a creature. We've got probably the finest just doodling that a 14-year-old boy would do at school instead of work.
That's not the only doodling you were doing in that
There
segment.
it is. Weightless Ezio floating his way down to a haystack.
He's a wafer thin.
He's a wafer thin.
Wafer
Vote for
thin.
ZBus as a vote for
That one's
Metroid.
great. That one's great.
So there you go.
So good.
And then I'm going to put this on a T-shirt actually of Fat Bowser, who's just got a Kingpin vibe to him there. And again, Mario down there with his towel. It's like he turned up too late. I'm very happy about how that turned out.
I mean, let's be fair. He would drown in that tub. That's,
Yeah.
He will not fit.
Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful. And if it's
Ready
Chris
to be-
Pratt, he wouldn't get in that tub because there's another dude in it. There's a little Chris Pratt joke for you. Follow how shit Chris Pratt is in real life. Let's wrap up the Gus entries and see who won Gus's beautiful, beautiful art. Ooh, accurate, says Ripple007. A mode only. Psycho Dragon Man.
Hey.
They're yours,
yes.
baby.
Yay!
They're all yours.
Congratulations.
Drawings for days.
All right.
Now, of
Let's
course,
whir up the Nick vote.
the Nick vote. Let's get exclamation mark NICH going in the chat. And let's see Nick's glorious art while people are entering to win it.
So it turns out that the book that I used to draw this in is actually my kid's drawing book. So there's lots of scribbles here.
Oh, you got to throw one in for as a freebie.
Some pictures.
Yeah, they
of
won't be able
Bluey.
to tell.
Oh my god! Did you draw those?
No, Beck did.
What the fuck is Beck
no.
not doing in this segment?
Yeah.
I drew Clank.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Still alive.
So good.
Cammy kicking Guile so hard.
That I will put on a T-shirt.
That's so good.
Yep.
That's so good. The
I
leg
would
fell
love that on a
off.
t-shirt.
The leg fell off.
Yeah.
There should be some
Yep.
a quote that said the leg fell off.
This is Samus.
Yep, that's a good Samus. That's alternate suit Samus.
Protest Samus.
And I missed.
Yeah,
Ezio.
you missed Ezio Auditore de Firenze or a referee at a football match.
Yep. Free an Italian man.
Offside to Poland, it looks like.
And then of course it's Jack Black giving Chris
Oh my
Pratt
god, I forgot
a handy in
about
a hot tub.
It's the Jack Black teeth.
It's the teeth
in his
that
peach
really
string.
sell it. They look exactly like Jack Black's teeth, and you've really, really captured that.
Thank you very
Should
much.
be proud.
Very good.
All right, let's wrap up the Nick vote. He's done a wonderful, wonderful job, and you'll want to
I'm
hang
ripping
this
them out
art
right now.
You'll want to hang this art anywhere you can, anywhere you can. Miss Silver, Leet.
Hey.
Oh,
won the
that's
game.
great. Yay. That's awesome.
Miss Silver knows exactly what to do with that art.
We know the worth of our art, and that's because we give it away for free.
Thank
I'm
you.
also going to throw in this picture that my daughter did.
Lovely.
Thank you.
That is honestly, and I don't mean
Pure emotion.
Any offense. That's probably the best piece of art
Yeah.
that will get sent to Miss Silver.
Yeah. The more I look at it, the more I agree, Gus. I would want that on it. I'd wear that.
That's great.
The braids are real.
They're real.
That was fun. What was the name of that segment, Pete?
That was. Well, should I play both cards?
Yeah.
That was Photal Recall.
And look, in observers, here it comes. There's Dick and a Do-Rag.
You're gonna do
The dick and a
Blink and you'll
do-rag.
miss it.
Order it at a bar near you.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, that was part of...
Pete's party, yeah. It's Pete's party time. Party.
Party.
Pete's party,
Oh, I
yeah.
played it again. That was actually an accident, but I'm not going to stop it, am I?
Oh god!
I forgot that one. I forgot that one auto. I said that I triggered that so it turns off automatically, but I triggered it again as it closed off.
Pete, as always, an absolute delight of a game. Thank you very much for preparing that.
Thank you for
I
playing.
think that's my favorite, Pete. No, they're all my favorite. They're all
They're
great.
all fun. They're all fun. It's
they're all
because
great.
you guys put so much of your heart and soul into each of them.
Thank you very much.
If you put in a half-assed effort, these wouldn't work because I'm the one putting in the half-assed effort here.
We put our whole asses in. You know.
And you guys put your Steph in particular put so much ass
Too much ass.
into this segment.
But she can.
But she's a
and
feminist.
feminism.
But she's a feminist.
Well, let's go to a very short ad break. And then, speaking of art, we'll come back before the end of the show to reveal some new artworks that you can purchase.
Under me.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Good. Push. Get out of the way.
Oh my god, no!
Get it in.
Oh my god, everyone move!
Get it in the hole, Gus. Get it in the hole, Gus.
Give me the key. Go.
Holy shit!
Where are you going? Next.
Need to hydrate. Sorry.
We can do this. We'll carry this.
Got it.
Pete's just doing
Red,
everything
Pete,
he can.
Pete, fucking move.
What's wrong?
Pete,
What a
run to the
prick.
right. Run to the
What
right.
a prick.
Run to the right, Pete.
I'm just hydrating.
Pete.
Prick.
Fuck you.
That's cool.
And how far is the range of this? Ready? Oh shit! Ah! I'm ready for it this time. Ah! This is messy.
Just leave it, Gus. Don't do it when you're almost there.
One of these assholes is Alexis.
Just walk around the corner. Hi.
Shorts, they're summer's pants. From cargos to cutoffs, Bermuda to board shorts, when you want to show off the fourth worst part of the human body, wear Orenishii shorts. Every pair of Orenishis are single origin, fair trade, and handmade by this lonely, overworked child robot with hands. The process couldn't be simpler. We start by asking for your measurements. Then, in the spirit of fairness, we send you our measurements. Our robot will send you fabric samples of 6 kinds of thick denim. We then make a full pair of jeans. After sending you a picture of us wearing the jeans and look and fit, we surgically remove the excess pant and voila! You've got yourself a pair of original Orenishis. And to ensure there's no wastage and a dolphin doesn't choke on them or something, we take those discarded leg bits and use them in our latest product, Orenishii sleeves. Orenishii sleeves for when you accidentally bought a singlet. So don't settle for sweaty knee pits. Order your Orenishis today. They're the only shorts you'll ever need. Welcome back, and a big thank you to VegaBus and ItsJepp for the word from our sponsors there. Both of them referencing
Good words.
things from last week or the last 2 weeks, very recent references there. An excellent word from our sponsors. And of course, one of our top tier, top stitched patrons, Orenishii there with the Orenishii commercial. A classic. So thank you very much. If you want to support Backpocket and what we do here, then head to patreon.com/backpocket and become a member of the community. You can also go to backpocket.gg because there are links there to everything that we do, our YouTube, our Twitch, our socials, and also our merch store. And that is as smooth as a segue you're going to get, Gus.
Totally. Well, I'll have to segue
Smoother
back
than
to
a dick in a do-rag.
I'll then awkwardly stumble like any sexual encounter backwards and mess it up by saying, well, we actually should start by talking about Patreon instead of the merch store because we should show off the artwork that we have finished as part of the Patreon tier. We're back, baby. So anyone who is on that tier would have seen that we designed a quick slap together one that we all fell in love with instantly. So that has now been polished up and put officially on the long sleeve navy blue t-shirt for that tier if you're a part of that tier. And Nick, you can help me here. Can people still sign up for this one?
So people could change their tier tonight and they would get it in 3 months, but you would definitely be eligible for it.
There you go.
But that is, I believe that's the latest that they can do it, but maybe they can do it again next month. We never really fucking know. 30 days, September, April, June, and November. Yes, yes, tonight.
I love that so much. I'm so going to wear that.
I know.
That's perfect, guys.
We actually went through some redraws and nothing could land on the same charm and of character of the original sketch. So much so that I went back and hand blew up the original sketch, got rid of all the pixels, made it. So it is literally line for line exactly how it was rough sketched, but now blown up to like a high res line print. So it'll come through crisp and clear. Hopefully if all the printing goes well.
You made like 3 iterations that were quote unquote better.
Better, yeah.
But just did not have it.
It was
like,
the thing that you drew
what
about
has
this?
it.
And Pete and I are like, stop it.
I mean,
stop changing it.
Because this
because
is
you can't, it's like you can't manufacture like
perfection.
Well, no, I mean you
like,
can't it's like a candid moment. It's like a candid emotional moment. You can't manufacture it. It came out without you thinking that this was anything serious, and that's why
I've shaded it, I colored it, I gave it depth in the eyes, but Steph's right. Suddenly it lost its level of confused charm in its eyes every time I redrew them and redid it. So we stuck with the original that we thought was bloody charming, and so as Nick mentioned, that goes out as part of the We're Back tier on the Patreon. And then I'll
just quickly say, Wayward Witches, I wish you could buy those shirts in the store. You can't buy these shirts in the store. You can buy them if you sign up to the right Patreon tier, but you can buy the following in the store.
You can. So we designed a few little extras that we thought would go into the Redbubble store, and which I'm really enjoying doing. So you might see an influx of stuff into the Redbubble store because we're creating, I guess they're more of collections rather than just one-off runs. If you know Redbubble, you know you can apply them onto many different products in different ways. So I like to supply the full range of what you can do. So Pete, kick us off with the first collection. We should have some Vogue music.
That Steph picked one, I picked one, and Pete picked one.
Correct.
Last week.
So Steph wanted to go with the technical difficulties motif that was using the Scardy that we had as one of our little hold screens. So I went with a nice little simple black and white one that can go with anything really. It looks great on a black t-shirt. It looks great on a throw pillow apparently. It also looks great on a mouse pad.
Pillow. Looks better on a black
if you need a little zip bag for your cables, your USB sticks or something, you can get one of them too. That's the Scardy set.
That's
and that's
so
coming
cute.
out this
little
summer.
Zip bag.
So good.
So
and
there's
by this summer you mean available now?
It's out now, yes. If you go to the Redbubble store, this design is available. And as I mentioned, it can go on everything. These are just some ones that we picked out that we thought were nice. If you like things that are nice, then you're not going to love the next collection. But Nick might, because the next collection is, of course, the Goose Shart 2021 collection. Is it Goose Art with an SH, or is it Goose Shart? We don't quite know.
Goose's Art.
Goose's Heart? Goose's Heart. It could be that too. This is a more simplified, cartoony version of the famous pose, facial expression immortalized by me live on stream.
Look at that fucking jumper.
But there is still some variations of this one. You can see there's a black outline one that the woman is wearing on the left. There's a silhouetted version, which goes well on, I would say, lighter colors. It stands out as a kind of obscure-looking design that people have to go, what's that about? Don't tell them the story. On the far right is my personal favorite, which is the colored one, but without a black line. And that also
I love that one too. That's my favorite.
Dark designs where the dark color of the t-shirt really accentuates the edges. And then that one I've also translated into a badge motif or a badge design, which we can see on the far left of the screen.
You've outdone yourself, dude. There's so so
if you'd like it to be
fucking
slightly
good.
more,
The
slightly more
jumper
subtle.
is
I love
so
it.
good. The jumper is so good.
I saw baggy jumper and I was like, damn, Nick needs to be in that. So yeah, that's available. You can chuck it on everything as well. But I know what you're all saying. You're saying Scardy stuff is wonderful. Goose's heart, Goose's sharp, whatever it is, great design. But
Where's Nutchat?
Where's Nutchat? Cries Peter from the rafters. Well, guys, 2021 is here, and the year could only improve from here on. And the way we do that is with a bit of Nutchat. That's right. The full Nutchat collection is available now on the
Nutchat
Redbubble
clock.
store. Nutchat clock. What time is it? It's time for Nutchat. Is it a bit sunny outside? Well, put a Nutchat on your head. Put a bit of nut on your head.
Nut hat.
And if you're going
Nut hat.
shopping, let other people know it's Nutchat time with a tote bag or maybe a
Look at the
chance to-
font you used for nut chat.
Yes. This is also just a random design in the Redbubble store. We just picked some of the fun things that were there. It is, of course, two peanuts having a little chat, and that's what Nut Chat really is all about. I like it personally as a smaller badge on a big T-shirt. But do with it what you will. Check out the Redbubble store; they're all available there. So enjoy.
So can I just clarify something? You've shown these designs on some items. Are they available on all items?
Yes.
Or,
Yes.
Yeah. So these are just like some suggestions that you've.
It's I hate to sound like we're sort of promoting Redbubble and then I'm shitting on it, but in the same way that Patreon's merch is confusing, Redbubble is a confusing thing. It's like, so for instance, the Goose's face one, I've uploaded as a big version on like items of clothing, and it seems to be like you can then apply that to hoodies and to sweatshirts and things, but you can't then make that a small badge on a breast pocket. I then had to upload a separate version of that, small and adjusted up in the top left. But then it's like, do you want to put a small top left one on a pencil case? You're like, no, that would be the ugh. So my suggestion is to, every time you look at a design on the Redbubble store, go down to the bottom and you'll see a lot of little things that are hidden that say available on 47 plus products or available on everything else. Don't just look at what's available on the front page of the store. It tends to rotate them through the carousel on different products and that kind of thing. So if you do have your heart set on a Nutchat clock and it's not there at the main store, just go scroll down. You'll see it's available on other things as well.
Dolphin Pants in the chat says you can do a nut chat quilt cover. Yes, you can. And Pete saw that and he was like, "It's a nut spread."
I think you can like tile it on a shower curtain. I don't know who has shower curtains anymore, but you could do that. Yeah, you need to do a bit of deep diving with Redbubble because it's not about like making perfect product designs, but the designs themselves, they're perfect. And so they're there for you guys on the Redbubble store. Go check it out. If you feel like, wearing some obscure designs that people will be like, "What the fuck's that about?" And you can be like, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Like that face. Basically, when you know, you know. That face pretty much sums that up.
Dude, you did such a fucking beautiful job with all of these, man.
Yeah,
Like,
they look great.
Kindly.
Deluxe, I don't know about the models of phones we don't have control over. So it's whatever Redbubble has made available. It is
Same
confusing
thing,
though.
you
I
do
think
need to-
you have to click into it and then you have to kind of go to the separate thing and then there's a drop down and then you select from a list of things. It's kind of.
And I think for phone covers, you have to choose iPhone or Android way at the top somewhere, and then there's more drop downs inside of those as well.
If perchance anyone does find a design that seems to be sitting awkwardly on something, I tried to go through and check everything because you have to place it on each item. If there is something like an iPhone case where it's cropping really badly, let us know in the Discord, merch suggestions, like ping us in there. And yeah, if there is anything that needs to be like readjusted or redesigned, I'm more than happy to do that to make sure it sits well on them, because I hate it when you get it and it's like, oh, they cut the sides off or it didn't work quite well. Your nut chat needs to be perfect if it's going to be on a product. So yeah, let us know.
I love it. I'm so excited to get that shirt.
I'm so glad we did that little seg. And we've got
I'm excited to get
next time. Fuck Jimmy is just ready to go.
It's just sitting there, ready to go. Yeah,
totally.
Good. Well done, Gus. And yeah, head to the Redbubble store. You can get there. The easiest way to get there is to go to backpocket.gg, and then there's a link at the bottom of there that just says merch. Click on that, and it'll take you to the store. All right, that brings us to the end of the show tonight. It's been a fun one. It's been a big, meaty show as well. Good show. We, of course, could not do the show without a lot of people, most of all, you all watching right now, who continue to support us with your eyeballs, with your views, with your shares of our content on socials. If you head to Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, you can go to @BackPocketVids and follow us there and tell your friends about the show. Spread some Nutchat love. Like send a picture of Nutchat and go... get them interested. It's the question that will get them into the show. But of course, there's also the mods who take care of us, keep this place a lovely place to be, including the Discord as well. That's Gat, Syntax Arrow, Kit Carnage, Liz Dahlia, Sith Cat, Phoenix Align, Disturbed, Jex, Caboose, and What the Shark. We love you all. Thank you so much for your constant daily hard work that goes unnoticed by so many people. And you might think that we don't even see it most of the time because you spend so much time talking to Ben, but we do. We see it all the time, and we're so thankful for everything that the mods do. And we're also thankful,
particularly tonight, where I threw randomly some fucking work at them.
Yeah.
Hate random polls.
Random polls are the worst. I even made it a freaking bit emote cheer thing.
Oh,
I upped drink water from 100 bits to 10,000 bits or something, but I didn't change the mod poll like request thing. So mod polls
we're learning. We're
they're
still
a risk. The mods do good work.
Do good work. And the other people who do good work are the people who head to patreon.com/backpocket and throw a couple of dollars our way if you can afford it. Every dollar helps keeps the lights on here. As you can see in my house, the lights are turning off and the house seems to be emptying itself. So we really do need your Patreon money. And a big thank you to our top stitchers. You know who you are, but we are going to give you a little, there you go, Peter's lights turns off. We are going to give you a little special thank you because you do put in so much hard work. So a big round of applause, please, for the top stitchers. The man who is all knees, Orenishii. Thank you very much, Orenishii. It's Mason, not Nathan, and don't you fucking forget it, Will. Happy birthday, Slowpunk. I hope it's a great one like always. It's LokiCat. He knows what he did. Don't invoke his name. It's Raj. When you want to sue the Lord, you should call Akarash. It's a Vex Destiny 2 companion app. Look out, Nicotex. She's in your blanket right now. Oh no, she's in your blanket
that's so hot. That's so hot.
No one puts him in a box and then puts that box in a corner. It's Boxy, the literal ray of sunshine in all of our lives, and our musical muse, Coastal City. Max Jazz Games, come poopy. TheVegaBus isn't just coming, it's here right now, baby. Hey, Timothy. Hey, it's Timothy. It's Jeff. It's a Jeff thing. I heard they bought a Jeff. And Evil Spy Boy. We used to be sponsored by Good Spy Boy, but something happened to him. I wonder who did it.
Oh,
it was Jeff.
It was Jeff.
Jeff, hit him in a Jeff.
It was a Jeff and run. And speaking of doing terrible things, then you should stick around for the post show, sponsored by Raj. It's about to start now as a private video on our YouTube. How do you get access to that? The same way you get access to that fucking awesome donut t-shirt that Gus showed you before. Go to the Patreon. Sign up at the 3rd tier or higher, and you get access to the post show. Do
we have dehydrated limes on our Redbubble?
Ooh,
we should think about that.
We should
think about that.
That's definitely. Well, that's definitely a what's the t-shirt? What's the company that does all those cliche t-shirts we talked about the other day? The design is just a lime walking through a desert, being like and being dehydrated, and it's like delicious. That's my design for that. I'm
delicious.
So thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out. And Peter,
have we got a? Yeah, we shouldn't we?
We should. I saw a message from Short Freakazoid who said, I just finished work and I'm waiting for a tram. What did I miss? Well, we thought you did miss something pretty epic tonight.
You did miss this.
We built this city. We built this city too close to the beach coastal city. We built this city on erosion.